Hi everyone.
Yeah.
Perfect. So,
Yeah.
well,
Yes.
before we getting into this, yeah, sure, Rutraj. I'll introduce myself, not now. I'm just waiting for a few more participants. I think it will take 5 more minutes. So, before that, the intention of this webinar. So, intro to this webinar, like there is a wrong perspective. I mean, there is a wrong vision. There's a wrong, like, there are very, like, there are more rumors roaming around in this BIM industry on automation. Okay. So, what do you mean by automation generally? What do you mean by automation? Anyone? What do you mean by automation? Have you heard about this? Have you heard this term before, automation? Anyone? Anyone? No?
Automatically connected for devices for that.
Automatically?
Connected on devices and automatically.
Connect the devices automatically. Uh-huh. Okay. What else?
Uh, User friendly and user.
Okay. Okay.
The IoT products like that only.
Mm,
Reducing the manual task by giving certain conditions.
by certain conditions. Okay. Anything else?
Yes.
Simplification.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Simplification.
Okay.
pre-calculated design conditions.
Pre-calculated design conditions. Okay. Nice answer. Okay.
A set of programming.
Set of programming. Okay. Making a long time work to short time. Work using paper. Okay. Yes.
Automation for me is like that eases up my regular job.
Easy as your regular job. Okay. Fine. Any other definitions? What do you mean by automation? Automation.
Hello.
So most of you guys have a some sort of an idea what do you mean by automation. So you have a chance.
That is automatic equipment in like manufacturing process.
Okay, fine. Okay, you're not completely mute, so you have some sort of an idea. Okay, that's great. So let me explain. So what is an automation today? Okay, and there is a very bad vision which is I have heard many times. I don't know how this gossips are, how this rumors are going on. Okay, so I'm here to clear those rumors. Okay, on BIM automation. So most of the people saying, Mr. Rajesh, is this for me? Is this for something? Is this for this? Can I use this? Why don't I use that here? And they keep asking me a lot of questions. Okay, so I'm here and with those answers, and you guys have those questions in your mind, but I don't know whether you're not able to ask those questions, whether they're not striking in your mind right now. Okay, so I'm gonna clear that today. So just wait for 1 more minute. Let join who else is to be joined, and then we'll just continue. Okay, fine. Let me check. Do I have any text? Do I have any questions? Hello, Devesh. Okay, perfect. So let me introduce myself. My name is Kumar, and I'm a founder of this BIM. I hope most of you haven't heard about this because it's just like a startup. It's 2 years old company. Okay, so we are completely into this automation. When I attended an interview, seminar in Delhi in 2015, which is conducted by Autodesk, then I realized, okay, there is something in it, in this automation, which is trying to automate something, and we can play with any kind of an application, not only AutoCAD, not only Revit, not only the Autodesk product. Okay, so automation in the sense you're reading a application code. If you are, let's say, I'll just take one person here. Let's take Deepak. Okay, so Deepak is a developer who developed an application called, let's say, Revit. Okay, so I went to him, and there are very good tools in your application. I just want to automate some sort of a things. Can you please give me the permission? Then Deepak has refused it. Deepak P has refused it. No, how can you play with my own code? So the code, and how can I read that code? I'm not the owner of that particular code. So how can I read a Deepak code? So to sit and understand to his, at least even though he allows me the code, I mean to read his code, still it will take a lot of time. Okay, fine. Finally, he has realized, okay, and he said, okay, Mr. Kumar, you can read my code, you can use my code, create whatever you want. Then I started reading, I started understanding, then I started creating some sort of add-ins. It took 1 year for me. It took just 1 year for me. So why? And there are two things in this. You cannot see the code for all the applications. Okay, with not all the applications. So some sort of a code which is open in the sense you can easily see the code of any application. Okay, and for some of the applications you can't see the code. Okay, so here the coding platform, how we have a BIM platform, the coding platform has a different name. It is called API, application programming interface. So what do you mean by this application programming interface? I have an application. I want to see that interface in a programming perspective. That's it. We are working for a BIM, and I choose the tool Revit. It's a Revit interface. BIM Revit interface. Okay. So likewise, like we have a application, whatever application it is. Okay. So application programming interface, like how we have a building information modeling. The same thing like application programming interface. So API. Now, if you're going to play with the application called Revit, then it's generally called as a Revit API. If you're going to play with Navisworks, then it is called Navisworks API. That's it. So Revit API, Navisworks API there is a file actually. Seriously, I'm not trying to misguiding you. There is a file called Revit API in your C drive itself. If you delete that, your Revit will not work for sure. Why? That is the heart of the entire application. And whenever you install the Revit, so that API file will be installed automatically. Okay, so this is called Revit API. Okay, so forget about this. I'll come to this point after some time. Why did I explain that in the beginning? Okay, fine. So the automation. So I want to automate. I want to automate some sort of a task. What do you mean by tasks here? For example, can someone help me with a very, very well-known example for everyone? If you are very new to the beginner, I mean, very, 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 very new to the Dynamo, I hope you have seen this somewhere. It's called sheet creation. Am I right? Very, very new. I mean, even though you're very, very new to this, I hope you heard this before. Most of the people saying, you can easily automate, create a sheets. Okay, let's take the same example. Okay, but that is just a 1% of the entire automation that you can do. That's just a 1%. You can do a miracles. You can do a wonders with the help of Dynamo. I'll come to that. In between, we have some sort of a slides. Okay, I'm gonna explain those, and some would be funny. Okay, well, and are you sharing a screen? Yes, I'm sharing. Guys, can't you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
We can see the
Yes.
No, sir.
Are you sure? Let me check again. Let me.
Yes, you can see your skin, but okay.
Mhm. Let me take this. Yeah, the screen is captured. So let me share this again. Screen. Can you see my screen, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if you have any audio issues, please text me in the chat box. And once if you have any questions, don't hesitate. Forget about others. This is a debate. Anyone can join and anyone can disturb. Okay. So if you have any questions, please don't wait till the end of the session. Okay. Just text or you disturb me. And once you're done with your question, and please mute yourself. Clear? Okay, fine. So automation in the sense. So I have some sort of a task. So generally, if I want to create a sheet, so what do I do? Generally, anyone? I want to create a sheet. So what do I do generally? What do you do generally?
And we go to the sheet
You
creation.
should go to the
click on
sheets
new
and just
sheet,
like right click on that
new sheet.
tab and just like generate a new sheet.
Okay. So first, I don't have a project browser in this. Okay. So right click on the workspace and go to the browsers and project browser. And in the project browser, go to the sheets tab. Okay. And right click on it, new sheet. And I'll choose the title block here and I'll click OK. And fine. So it's created a sheet. And what I do, I'll just go to a highlighted sheet and right click on it and rename this. And it started giving muting everyone. So number, sheet number, and sheet name. Correct? So this is an entire process. So then that is what the Deepak has created this application, but there are some sort of a manual steps. Manual steps. What do you mean by manual step? The one what we have did till now. This is called manual process, and it needs your cursor movement and your clicks. It needs some sort of a clicks. Correct? Left click, right click, and cursor movements. So that is what I'm trying to automate it. I don't want to move my cursor at all. I don't want to click on anything else. So these clicks, these mark cursors. So I want to automate with a application. So that application records every movement. So every movement which is called a trigger, which is called like a action, some sort of an action. So if I can automate something, I need that manual process. If there is no manual process, you cannot automate it. First thing, remember this. Okay. So where we are daily doing the same stuff, daily, we're doing the same stuff. What is that? Modeling, coordination, and documentation. Correct? So before we getting into this, before we discuss about all this stuff, let me clear some sort of a fear from your mind about this new process. Okay, do you have any questions before I start? Anyone have any questions?
No.
Okay, let's wait for others. Guys, anyone have any questions? You can text even if you want.
Yeah, yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Hello.
Good afternoon, Akash. Afternoon? No, evening.
Good evening, sir. Yes, sir. Can you elaborate a little bit what is automation in architecture or in BIM? Because I'm not clear about the automation. Like, what is automation and how it's work?
I'll show you. I'll explain you today. I'll explain you that today. Apart from that, any other? I'm expecting a new questions. I'm expecting a new
Hello.
questions. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm Hari.
Yeah.
Actually, the automations can be done only for this kind of sheet works or program, like it is in a program kind of workspace, right? For example, if I'm doing an link model, I want to align the link, my model to the link model. It can be also automated for that.
Yes, yes, it can be more. It can be possible.
You can do it.
Yeah, you can do it. See, automation doesn't have any limitations. Automation doesn't have any limitations. You can do whatever you want. So some sort of an automations could be done very easily. Okay, you no need to create any kind of a post methods. In some of the
Okay.
actions.
For example,
Mm.
okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, I muted you. Can you unmute again? Sorry, I'm not able to hear you anything. You have to, yeah.
Hello, I'm Hari. Can you hear me, right?
Yeah, Hari, I can hear
Have you
you.
muted me?
Hmm.
Yeah. If I want to multiple some floors or multiple some towers
Hmm.
with flip or something kind of flip kind of things or automate, it can be automated
It can be automated.
if it is
Yeah,
possible.
yeah, it's possible. That is possible.
Okay,
So,
so okay, how to limit actually I want to limit my works, like, because it's a copy paste, or if I'm copying, for example, one floor it is done, it is copy pasted for the multiple 20 floors and some kind of works will be like 20% of works will be newly added on that. So I want to automate some changes. For example, if it is staircases change, that has to be automated to the other floors too. A common elements. So that can be done in a group. I know that way. So it is possible, like, I don't want to group it. So it is possible that it has to be updated for that space
fine,
to Dynamo.
let me explain you something. So if you have a typical building, and you have a 500 elements in every floor, okay, so copy paste,
Yeah.
grouping them, that is a manual process. Even automation is also
Yeah.
copying and pasting is just like a 1-2 minutes process. What if they are not typical? In the first floor they have a different ceiling heights, in the second floor they have a different ceiling height. Even though in that
Okay.
scenarios the automation helps you out, you understand, you no need to
Okay.
create any sort of
Okay.
groups, and they directly, and see, for example, when you copy paste, they're not going to be hosted elements, they are orphaned, correct? Still, if by
Oh yeah, yeah.
using this automation, you no need to copy paste, so they'll understand the CAD layers. I'm going to show you in this demo actually. Okay, so I'm going to show you a demo,
Oh,
and I'm going to explain that in our training as well. Okay, so don't worry about that.
okay.
So whatever you expected,
Is that video recorded?
this is recording. This is recording. Okay.
Can you mail me, right? Finally.
Yeah, sure. I will. I'll show.
Thank you.
Okay, fine. And
Thank you.
I have a thank you. So I have one more question. I would like to know about the Dynamaps. Okay, Dynamaps is nothing but like it's for city-state modeling area. It is a very beautiful package actually. Okay, a package to replace Dynamaps. I would like to know if you know a package to replace. Oh, you're asking to replace Dynamaps? Actually, no, I couldn't see anything. The one the Dynamaps it has, it's very beautiful. Okay, you can create a simple setting in just couple of minutes itself, not in hours, nothing. Okay, fine. So let what else did I have? Do I have any questions here? Is it possible to create a parametric model using global parameters? Yes. Yeah, sure. Why not? It's good. So we are going to. I'm gonna explain that is in our bonus actually. So those who have attended this demo, you have a very wonderful bonus tips that I'm gonna give. Okay. So don't miss and don't leave this until unless you enjoy it. Seriously. Okay. Fine. So I'm going to reveal a very beautiful technique for you guys. So till date, I haven't explained this before in any demo. Okay. In my previous demos, I haven't disclosed this. Generally, I used to do this in my training. Okay. So it's in a paid training. For you today, I'm going to reveal it. Okay, fine. So, and automatically generate the 3D model with dimensions as contents. Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. Okay, yeah, correct. So the Dynamaps doesn't work in the new versions of Dynamo. Are you sure? Because I'm using 2.6 and Dynamaps is working for me. So it is an updated one. Okay, fine. We'll discuss this later. Okay, fine. So I'm going to clear all the fears about the new process from your minds. For most of the people, it has. You guys have. Okay. And second thing, the rumors in the BIM industry on automation. Okay. And I'm going to explain you the way automation helps you in your daily routine. Okay. And why do you have to go with this? And for whom automation is required mostly. Okay, how much time you can save using automation workflows, how long it will take to become expert in Dynamo. Okay, so these are most of the like questions I keep getting repeatedly. Okay, so job scope of a BIM automation. Okay, so job scope of a BIM automation, you guys are not in my like we have a private portal. So in that portal, generally I do post one or two job posts on BIM automation daily. So in the India itself, there are a lot of companies that started looking for automation. Okay, seriously, like some sort of a companies like BIM Graphics is also looking for a developer. Okay, and there is a company called Massachusetts, so they are also looking for a API developer, and L&T is also looking for a guys. Okay, and their pay is also very good. Okay, so they are expecting they are not expecting the complete high-end developers. Okay, if you can able to handle some sort of a workflows, trust me, what if you are earning like a 50, you will be easily get like 75 or 80 with this automation. Once you learn this automation, within a month, you'll get your money back, what you have spent on your training or whatever. Yeah. Okay. Fine. So there's a good scope in automation, and trust me, after 1 or 2 years, there will be no modulars for sure. There will not be any modelers. Okay. Yes, we do, because I hope you have seen the add-ins that we released in the market. Okay, if you want to download those, those are free, and you can download from my website. Okay, bimera.co, and you can enjoy it. Okay, they are very powerful tools. Okay, what we have released for free. Okay, so how to start learning the automation even though you hate the coding part? You guys don't have any prior experience on coding. Okay, and frankly, out of your 92 people, 50 people hate coding. They failed in C language they when you guys are in engineering this. Okay, but still, trust me, I'm going to uh, present our training in a very fruitful way, that you started loving the programming for sure. That's my promise. Okay, and you can go and see the reviews on my website or in Google as well. Okay, so they are very beautiful, and I got 99% like uh, trainer satisfaction and the student satisfaction as well. Okay, fine. And the bonus tips: understanding the dynamo. How to understand the dynamo first of all? Understanding the data types. What do you mean by data types? Oh, is it a part of our coding? Yes. So I'm gonna teach you something today, okay? But I'm not trying to confuse you. I don't want to confuse you. Okay. So try to understand the data types in a are with a very well-known examples. Let's take parameters. We're going to play with some sort of a parameters in our demo. Okay, fine. Understanding three important heads, and this is very important. Okay, and I do generally provide this sort of a training, and I mean this concepts in the training only, not in the demos. Okay, fine. Certification of placements on BIM automation. Yes, we do. We are providing the certification. That certification is not a piece of a paper. Okay, nowadays the companies are very active. They started looking, either this guy is a really certified from this Autodesk, or this guy is really certified from so and so academy, from the LinkedIn itself. So we are paying to the LinkedIn for this, especially for the certification, and it's a complimentary for you. Okay, so placements on BIM automation, trust me, until unless you place on in such a role, we'll keep texting you, we'll keep mailing you uh, till our company is there. Okay, so some first few people like they've joined in just like 30 days, and few guys are like hide in 3 months, few people hide in 6 months. Till now we have placed 25 candidates in our different companies. Okay, so trust me, and there will be more openings will be happened in couple of years, not even 4, not even 5, in very like 1 or 2, because 4 years back no one knows Revit, but now even the engineering student who passed out just in 2022, and I'm sorry 2021, he knows Revit, and is confidently saying and challenging a 2 years candidate, I know Revit, I can easily handle whatever you guys do in your office. What is this? You understand? So the automation has a very power, and don't take it as a very easy. Okay, and be in a right position in a right time. After 1 year, 2 years, if you want to start learning, of course, I mean, you can ask me something. I'm like a self learner. I'm doing self learning will not give you instant result. Self learning never will give you an instant result. So try to find out the roots. Who do you who will teach you that which is the right route to seed, where to make the seedling happen. Okay, so understand it. Okay, so take a wise decision on this. Okay, and when, so let's say the rumors, what's happening in this industry. Most of the people ask me the same thing. You have to be good in programming to play with the Dynamo. Are you sure, guys? Do you need any programming language to play with the Dynamo? Are you sure? How many of you say yes?
Yeah, little bit programming knowledge.
Little bit programming knowledge. Okay. Anyone else?
Yes.
Anyone? Okay. CSA, no need. Okay. You can text even if you're not able to, if you don't want to talk, you can text in the chat box. You have only 1 minute. You guys have only 1 minute. Okay.
So, so I think one need.
Hmm. Hmm. Please. You are mute again. I don't know. Someone has. Okay.
I don't believe.
Okay. Fine then. So I'm getting more yes or no. You don't need to be highly knowledgeable in coding. Okay. No. No. Okay. Fine. Fine. My answer for this is no need. No need. What? What do you mean by programming knowledge, and what do you mean by knowing? There is a difference between the knowledge and knowing. Knowledge means what? For example, if you read a newspaper today and you read a newspaper tomorrow and you're reading the newspaper from last 6 months and you just getting what is happening, that is just a knowing. That is not a knowledge. What do you mean by knowledge? If you do some R&D and if you keep, I mean, like if you're working in a sector, so whatever that you are trying to grab, that is called a knowledge. So to play with the Dynamo, you should know some sort of a concepts. You don't need to have a programming knowledge. You understand? You should understand some sort of a very basic concepts. Very basic concept. Okay, that's it. You don't need to be good in 100% perfect in programming language to play with the Dynamo. First, clear this out from your mind. Second one, Learn Python to automate Revit. Array, there is no sync with the Python and Dynamo at all. Okay, so most of the people are asking the same thing, like, are you sure? Like, sir, when do you start? I mean, when you start teaching me the Python? Then I ask them, like, why do you need Python right now? Then, sir, if I want to play with a Dynamo, I should learn Python first, right? No, who told you this? I don't know, sir. I heard somewhere. Rumor again. Okay, so you no need to play with any Python. Few people asking me, sir, how long it will take to learn C sharp? Array, C sharp is not that easiest language to play, to understand. It will take years to get into it. To play with Dynamo, okay, to automate some sort of a task on Revit, you no need to understand Python initially. Of course, it is required. Of course, it is required, but you don't need it right away. Okay, so there are three different kind of steps. I'm going to explain you later. Okay, so for the first step, when you are completely zero to the programming, then you don't need to go with the Python. So there is another concept. What is that concept? I'm going to explain you. Okay, so Dynamo installation slow down the Revit. That was before and not now. Okay, why? The Dynamo, the day they have launched it, it was in a 1x version, in a 1.0 version, and now we are using 2.0 version. What is the difference, sir? It's a 1.0 and it's a 2.0. No, earlier we used to use a XML version of a Dynamo, and most of you people doesn't know that Dynamo is not a tool. It is just like a Chrome browser. Chrome browser, seriously. So that is the reason we generally called as a Dynamo as a web environment tool. It's a web environment friendly. It is just like a Chrome browser, what you guys are using for like YouTube, Google, like Facebook, LinkedIn. Dynamo application is just a browser. Okay, fine. You will come to know this in the training part. Well, so we used to use a XML version. I hope you heard about HTML, hypertext markup language. The people, the developers, the web developers, they use this language to develop some, to create some sort of a websites. Okay, so that kind of a language we used to create it. I mean, they used to create it when the Dynamo is very new. It's called XML. Okay, but now that is in a JSON version. 2.0 is in a JSON version. So that is the reason most of the people are saying, like, can you guys open 2017 Revit model
Hello,
in 2016?
hello, Rajesh.
Yes, yes, Sudarshan.
Yeah, I have a small doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dynamo is a separate add-in to install in Revit, or it
No
it
need,
can be
no need,
already is there.
no need. It comes with a pre-installation. Okay, so earlier we used to have a different sort of a, like a set of files. We used to have a different kind of a set,
Oh,
but not now. Okay, fine.
oh,
So
okay,
let me ask
okay. Thank you.
you something. I mean, generally this concept itself, I do take 30 minutes to explain everything in detail. It's like a spoon feeding. My training is going to be the spoon feeding, and generally, I've seen some sort of a videos. The people are posting learn Dynamo in just 2 to 3 hours. There are some sort of a courses they are offering. They are selling the courses. Or I pay 5,000 and uh, get this videos, just 2 to 3 hours, and you can start playing with the structures. Seriously, I don't. They're really really crazy. With 3 hours concept, it is not at all possible to understand the complete Dynamo at any cost. I promise you. Because in my training, generally it's 40 hours training. We have a 15 to 20 concepts. Okay. So these 15 to 20 concepts, each concept has to be explained for more than 2 hours. One single bloody small concept will be explained in 2 hours. That is called spoon feeding. And trust me, until unless you're not happy with that concept, the session keep extending like 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, why hours. I don't let you sleep, you don't let me sleep until unless you understand the concept. So this is called a spoon feed training. Go and Google it. Spoon feed training, what do you mean by? Until unless you understand the concept, I don't leave you and you don't leave me at all. You understand? Okay. So with a 3 hours or 4 hours, not possible to finish because this is a very new tool and it is a different language. How can you learn a different language which is not familiar with before in just 2 to 3 hours? No, it's a really wrong thing. Okay, fine. Anyhow, that's a different story. So earlier it was in a XML version, but the Dynamo now it is in a JSON version. It makes a lot of difference. Like you can simply say CAD and Revit. That's it. It saves, I mean, our Dynamo now, which is more faster, and it'll never slow down your Revit, and it's my promise. Okay, fine. Unnecessarily getting more fertile. Yeah, for the third point again, it slows down the Revit. I do agree for it, but if you install any wrong packages, how do you come to know the wrong package? You don't know. Someone said like Rutraj said. Rutraj said to Atul, install that package, install this package. Those packages have a bugs in it, and whenever you started installing on it, your Dynamo started acting very weird, and even it won't allow you to open the Revit also. Whenever you start opening and you're playing within a 15 minutes, fatal error. I'm not trying to scare you, seriously. So understand the concept, why it is getting enough, how to remove that bug. So why did I get the bugs? Let me explain that in next couple of minutes. Okay. So this session, it is a debate. Okay, it is not a demo. Debate in the sense you can ask me any kind of even to advanced also. Okay. So this is the first time like I'm giving this kind of a demo. Okay. So don't skip and don't leave till the end. You'll miss a very wonderful techniques for sure if you left. Okay, fine. So unnecessarily getting more fatal errors while using the Dynamo, that is because of the same reason. Okay, fine. Automation doesn't have a scope. Who said? I heard many times when I'm texting them, who said, sir, no, automation doesn't have. Automation has only the scope now. Automation has a very huge scope, and you guys are going to realize in very short time. Very short time, because the companies itself, they started giving the opportunities to their own employees. So I have reached most of companies, the MNC companies, they're when they're like asking to for the hiring. So I'm just trying to convert them. Don't hire any person for this. If you believe me, okay, just give a chance to your employees itself. Just give a chance to your employee itself. Train your team for the very best price, so they will not leave you. They'll not leave you. And I mean, if you're very confident, choose the right candidates and provide sort of a training. As of now, I have a 15, I think like 10 to 15 queries. I have 10 to 15 like invoices we recently generated for the companies. They are providing the trainings to their own employees itself. You understand? So there is a huge scope, and the company started realizing it. Okay, and they started hiring it because they don't want to provide this sort of a trainings, and that is the reason we have like we are sending a people around like 10 to 15 people to the companies. Okay, so this is a right time to get into it, to save yourself and be upskill yourself, not for like salary, not for this thing. Work for the designation. From my past experience, I live in my, if you see my LinkedIn, I don't have a proper experience in any company. 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, quit. No proper quit. I'm not telling you to quit your companies, huh? Okay, without any reason. See, if I'm misguiding you, no, don't take it in another way. Okay, so why I always show more into on that designation, because designation helps and gives you a very good admirers. Trust me. Okay, so that BIM automation has a very good scope, and if you started into that, the biggest advantage is you no need to be work on your traditional modeling tasks. You no need to be do any kind of a modeling, seriously, and the company is paying you for your learning. I really like that kind of an environment. I'm learning myself, so the company is giving me to the company is paying me for some sort of doing like some sort of R&D, research and development. Which company will give to do this kind of an R&D? When I was working for Atkins, I created myself like the own opportunities I used to explore, and I used to show the things which is happening to my manager. So I started, and he started allowing me 1 hour a day. Then I started utilizing that 1 hour in the office hours, and really I could see that, and I started exploring, and then I started working for like ACOM. At the same time, I got an offer for Jacobs, and I left there because of the designation again. So there are a lot of reasons. I mean, when I was earning like 80K, I joined for 65K. I joined for 65K only the reason because of the designation. The BIM automation, I mean, if you are going to join as a BIM automation expert, like a Dynamo expert, API developer, whatever, you never see a really good scope in future, and you can double, triple, like quadruple your salary in a very short time, in just 1 and 2 years. Trust me, seriously. Okay, so automation have a very, very good scope. Okay, and Dynamo is not for you. No need to learn. I don't know. I think most of you have this question. Okay, so most of you have this question, like why Dynamo? Or even I heard when I was working with an organization, so they're saying, "Array, it is for structural guys. Array, it is for architectural, man. It's for architectural." I've seen all the Dynamo scripts. They're building some sort of a kind of buildings. Uh, who said even you can automate very, very basic stuff, very, very basic stuff, till the advanced? You can create a very beautiful like buildings. Let's say this Dubai Museum, it was created and it was done in Dynamo. You know how much time it will take to create that? Just 10 to 15 minutes. Just 10 to 15 minutes. Just the outside exterior. After that, structures, let's take some time, because analysis is not that easy kind of stuff. And playing with an MEP, again, just like I'll show you today. I'm not lying to you. Okay, whether you join this, I mean, like generally, I do explain all this kind of the same stuff to the persons who called me personally. So I don't want to do that one by one. So that is the reason I'm providing a demo today. Okay, fine. So Dynamo is not for architecture. Dynamo is not for structure. Dynamo is for everyone. In a frank, I'm an MEP guy, but I can create. I designed till now like 6 buildings for the clients, those who are in Denmark and UK and like what's that, Canada. Okay, so there is a very good scope than India and Middle East as well. The Middle East is also started looking for this kind of a guys. When I was in the Middle East, I used to be as a BIM automation expert and implementation engineer. Okay, so I used to develop an add-ons. I used to create a script for the for very basic automation tasks. Okay, so trust me, there would be a really good scope, and they used to pay me like 15,000 AD over there. 15,000 means 3 lakhs, and I used to create only 4 or 5 tasks in 4 or 5 scripts in a month. Who is going to pay you like a 3 lakhs salary creating for like 5 to 6? They need a person to automate something when it is required. They don't know when it's required, seriously. And if you know anyone who is working on an automation support, just go and ask them, are you enjoying your work? They really enjoy their work. They never set for to do some sort of a modeling or coordination, nothing. Why? They are providing the scripts, they are creating the scripts and providing those to their modelers. And they started people, you're like, you're, even though you're superior, started looking at you very admiringly if you're doing these kind of tasks. You're saving your company's time, not in one project. If you create a script, you could save your you could save the same script. They can use the same script in number of projects. Okay, so you can ask me something. If I create a script, I provided all the scripts what they need. Do they take me out from the company? No, because they need you. Why? Why they need you? Because once you created a script, it works in 2022 and it will not work on 2023, and they need a person to exactly recreate the structure in 2023 as well. Very small corrections. With a very small correction, if the person who is going to hand over, okay, I mean, you have created like 10 scripts or like 100 scripts, and you're going to leave the company, and the person who is going to hand over to, I mean, from you, he can't handle that 100 scripts because you are the owner, and they won't let you go at any cost. Trust me. This is where
Then competition increases
very much.
between the modelers, everyone. Sorry, Rajesh. I have a couple of multiple questions here.
No problem.
Sorry to interrupt.
Mm-hmm.
Is it right? Okay, I can have your question.
Yeah, please, Shrikant, no problem.
Yeah, Rajesh. Here now I have a like handsome of experience on BIM modelings and all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a BIM manager here. Is it BIM manager? We are into the saturation point. I feel it. Does this Dynamo reborn? Because I love when you appreciating a Dynamo, I still want to live more and more on this applications. Means somewhat it will gives you rebirth. Such a way I want to explain you. If this Dynamo is not a contractual at the project level, does still it helps for the Revit modelers or the BIM coordinator to survey in the project?
Why not? Why not? Let me explain.
No, my question is here.
Correct.
You have XYZ project. Dynamo is not a contractual, but we know the Dynamo. Means I learn from you now. Can be implemented exactly like a Revit, and we can just make those extension files to the RVT or blah blah blah, whatever the customer is interested. Such a way you can program it in the automation
very easily.
Fantastic.
Very easy.
Loves you, buddy.
Okay. So
I sent you the multiple question. No, that's a fantastic. The answer makes me complete focus on it. The second question. Once at the PD stage and the DD stage, you have the multiple information updated in the models, whether it is MEP structure, blah blah, everywhere. In those things, in the Revit, it is very hard to people to know at concourse level or the mezzanine level, at the podium level, which place they have modified. To know those things, is that Dynamo helpful here?
Perfect. There is a simple thing. If there is a change happened at, okay, so obviously it means there is a change in the element ID. Do you understand?
Yes.
Correct. So the elements, your Dynamo will catch all the element IDs with that XYZ locations. If
like Solibri.
Exactly like Solibri. If there is any change between, for example, let me draw something here. But it doesn't look good, but no problem. So I have a cable tray here.
Sorry guys, I made someone like
no, this is a very beautiful question. Let them know. Okay. So where there is a cable tray here, here, and this is at a 3200 now. Okay. So this is a cable tray 3200, and this point has a location, and this point has a location. Because this is a line-based element, line-based have a 2 points, starting point and end point. Okay. Now, if there is any small change in the Z, so there, I mean, your Dynamo will alert you wherever there is a change in a electrical, wherever there is a change in a wall. So wherever there is a change in a like a some other structure or whatever it is. Okay. So you have to create the same structure, the same script by yourself. It's very easy. It's very easy.
Yes.
So you have to give a proper instruction. That's it. That's what I'm gonna teach you in next couple of minutes. Okay, don't worry. So everything is possible. Where there is a manual process, you can easily automate it. I don't say this is not possible. This is not possible. No, because let me be frank to you. I have provided more than 125 solutions to the clients till date. Okay. And whenever the requests come to me, I said yes. There is no for anything. There is
you don't have any limitations in this?
No, but not in Dynamo.
Really?
That is what I'm gonna explain you. So no, don't expect everything in the Dynamo. So that I told you before, there are 3 different kind of stages. So the first stage, if you are very new to the programming, the first stage is a Dynamo, and there are limitations in it. There are limitations. To break those limitations, you have to get into the second stage. Still, you cannot achieve everything in the second stage as well. Array, then you guys, are you trying to kill me? No, I'm not trying to kill you. So I'm revealing the real example. Okay, so the live thing, like what are the people are facing. So in the second stage also, you can't, let's say you can achieve the 60% of workflows, what you can see, what you are expecting to see. When you break the barriers and enter into the second stage, you are almost like up to do 80% of a workflows that you would like to do. Okay, so what is the third stage? There is no for nothing. You understand? There is no for anything. There is no for anything. If you have a query, you can 100% do it. You understand? So this
if
is
the guy is if the guy is at 10 out of 7 in the BIM modeling, does Dynamo helps him to get achieved very soon? Catch up very soon?
Very soon. So the way we designed the training program, it is especially like a phone speeding. No matter you are a BIM manager, you have a 15 years experience, I do treat you as a fresher in the programmer. So
fantastic.
From the BIM person perspective, I'm not going to teach you how to create a Python script which is having like a 300 lines of a code. You understand? So from the BIM person, I mean, if you don't understand what do you mean by tuples, you don't know what do you mean by dictionaries, you don't know what do you mean by for loop, if loop, conditions, what are all this stuff. I do always explain the same thing. First, I'll show you the example in the Revit, and I'll sync that concept with a Dynamo concept. And I do explain the same thing in the Python concept. Okay, clear. Fine. Okay, so someone have
Rajesh, I have a small question.
Please.
So we're learning the Dynamo, and whether it be easy to grab the thing in Rhino and Grasshopper too?
Very nice question. So I have a answer for this in next couple of slides. Okay, so I'm gonna explain you this later. So if this is the only question for you, or do you have any other questions?
Yeah, I have one more question. See, I'm a BIM management guy, kind of like documentation is part of things in regular my workflow. So whether Dynamo is necessary for me?
I have a question for this as well. Okay, so wait for some time. Any other questions for you? No?
That's it.
Okay, fine. I have answers. I have an answers for your questions. Yeah. Who's this again?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. It's Ruturaj.
Yeah, Ruturaj.
Sir, I want to ask something. I know Dynamo, I have been through last 1 year, but there are some limitations, and the way our industry grows, I've been searching for different ways. There are some web developers in entering in our industry. So, like Autodesk Forge. Recently found so there is a difference between Dynamo. The Dynamo has a limitations.
Correct.
But how we can compete with web developers?
No, I'll tell you one thing.
Learning Dynamo.
This is a completely out of the boundary question. Okay, so as you're comparing with the Forge API, comparing with the Forge API, Forge API is a completely web environment. As I told you, even the Dynamo is also a web environment too. Okay, the person who developed the Revit, we are playing with the Revit application with a .NET libraries. So that is the reason we're learning Python here. Okay, then who developed this Dynamo? Dynamo has also an API, and that API is a web development. You understand?
Yes.
So that is just a browser, I told you. Okay, even the Forge is also a web application. Okay, so that is not related to this topic. Okay, so text me, or else I mean, if you have my WhatsApp number, text me. I'll explain you this in later. Okay.
Okay.
Because I don't want to confuse other 90 participants. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So Dynamo is not for you. No need to learn. This is a very, very bad statement. Don't listen to the people who are saying this. I'm from MEP background. I can create a structures. I can create an architecture buildings. Very, very beautiful. with anything. Okay, so whatever, that's based on your interest. Okay, fine. Still, do you have any? Yeah, please.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, Jugal.
Sir, can I ask a question?
Yeah, Jugal.
Yeah, sir. Sir, actually, I have completed my B. Yeah, I'm a civil engineer. I completed my BTech 10 days back, and right now I'm learning BIM. So can you help? Can you tell me that how this Dynamo will help for civil engineers in BIM industry?
Frankly, you're not supposed to be here, Jugal. Let me tell you one thing. Okay, at least you'd have a minimum project experience how the tool works. See, we thought if you don't know how the tool works, how can you automate a task?
Yeah.
How can you automate a process? Correct. So you are in a wrong meeting. So if you have a minimum experience on working after a minimum on 1 or 2 projects, then you can happily ask me this. But okay, but most of the people, most of the companies, I'm sorry, training institutes, they're just adding this Dynamo course and a BIM modeling and BIM coordinator. I don't know, such a seriously, they're fools. What do the person do if they don't know anything about a Revit? How can you automate something? Very, very bad. I don't allow. Okay, even though, let me explain you one more thing. I told you there are 3 different stages. Stage 1, it's a Dynamo. Okay, so I'm not saying, I don't want to pronounce this as a Dynamo from now on. It is a visual programming. Okay, so it's a visual programming. So there is a stage 1, it's a visual programming, and the second one is like a programming. Okay, and the third one is also programming, but we don't generally call it as a programming. It has a different name. Okay, so you'll be knowing this later. So from the stage 1 to the stage 2, you can't do these 2 at the same time. I never allow the person to join immediately with these 2 programs. Okay, why? Because there must be a cooling period. You have to adopt it. You have to be flexible with a particular tool, language, whatever it is. Take some time. Okay, let it be like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Then come and do the second stage. You understand?
Okay.
That gives you a smoother, there won't be any confusions anymore. Okay, so fine. Well, I don't know, the people, few people are doing for their money, the cars. No, they have to finish the training and they have to send the person. This is a very bad strategy in the learning industry. They do teach everything, all the tools at the same time, and out of that institute, they're not even 100%. They're not even 100%. Seriously, the concept in the first tool, they are like only 20%, and in the second concept, they are again 20%. It becomes 100% for them. Do you understand? If you have a 5 concepts, you should be good 100% in the 5 concepts. You should be good in 500. You should get 500, not 20, 20, 20, 20, and it won't make you 100. Understand? Try to link and sync the previous experiences, the previous learnings with what you've done before. Okay. Well, so Zugal, if you are into the civil industry,
Yeah. So means after.
Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. Continue, sir.
Okay, Zugal, for you, if you're into, if you just have basic, like a BIM passed out. I don't know how many people you are here. I hope, I don't know how did you get this link even. Okay, fine, that's a different story. First get a touch into the Revit application and work for at least 2 to 3 projects and think about the automation later, not initial stage. Okay, learn everything in a very detailed way, then only you can automate something. Otherwise, seriously, no. Okay, don't do that. Okay, fine. Even though you're ready to join, I don't allow you. Seriously. Okay, fine. So work smarter, not harder. Can anyone have a answer for this? What do you mean by work smart and work hard? Can anyone have any answer? You have only 3 minutes for this. Please, everyone, unmute your mics, and I'm expecting some sort of an answer. What do you mean by work smart?
Instead of manually creating sheets in Revit,
Forget about the Revit
it's better
completely. Forget about Revit completely. What do you mean by smart and hard? That's it.
Hope for the better idea in developing the time, reducing the time space.
doing things in different way and unique way. Like before executing anything, we can plan something that will definitely reduce the time and the efforts.
Okay, so that is what smart work, huh? So on the screen, what is this bull doing? This is what most of us doing. Even I did it last 3 years back. Seriously.
So it's doing
And it's
hard
a
work.
blind. It's a blind, and it is just following the owner instructions until unless it is tried. Right? Correct?
Right, sir.
This is what we are doing. From the in the morning 9 o'clock we started modeling. Evening 6 o'clock we ended with the modeling. The same process, the same workflow, and there are a lot of corrections in it, and there are a lot of changes in it. So this is what called a donkey work. Am I right? Do you agree with me or not?
Agree.
So this is called some sort of a blind work, what we are doing. So doing the job very honestly until unless you got awarded. Is it? So some people say, "Alright, this guy is a very hard worker. He come in the morning 8 o'clock. He comes in the morning 8 o'clock and leave at 8 o'clock. So 12 hours is working. Still, he is getting the same money, and he is getting once he back to his home while mixing the food. Then he realized, okay, the pain of his fingers, isn't it? Isn't it? So doing the job very honestly, I'm not saying he's really hard worker, but be smart. Not doing the job. Know the ways to get the job done. Understand? Few people, like few guys are somehow like smart. Somehow the smart, you guys are smart, and you are using some sort of a add-in services. Am I right? Few guys are using add-ins, isn't it? Isn't it? This is what we are doing now. This is what we are doing now. Seriously. So if I had a 6 hours, to cut down a tree, so what should I do first? First, I have to sharpen the saw. If the saw is not sharp, then it will take 12 hours, isn't it? Correct? Right or not?
Correct.
So that is what an automation, and it leads to the frustration. This is what. Have you guys felt this before? Have you guys felt this before? Huh?
Yes.
I did
Yes.
this. I did this seriously. I don't know about you. Okay. So work smart, not hard. Okay. Not there are a lot of ways, not only the Dynamo, not only this, there are a lot of ways. Okay. So smart work versus hard work. So this guy is using some sort of a racks, so to pull it, to send it out very quickly. Correct? So in my words, what do I generally think? This is a platform. So this is a platform. The platform is for in our case, it is a Dynamo. Clear? Clear, guys? Let me. What is this? What's happening in this? This guy used has a small brain, which is like 29 grams. Okay, so which is he cut down that edges. He cut down the edges and make it as an like circular shape, like a in a spear shape. Then he started rolling it, pulling versus rolling. So using a brain to work smart, you need to make your brain work hard, not you. Correct? Correct? Hard work is done by more physical efforts. More physical efforts. It needs a more physical efforts and less use of brain. We are doing it in the same way. Okay. So as of now, I don't say anything like I mean the Dynamo is very new to this. Correct? It's very 5 years old. isn't it? No, it is not. Don't say the Dynamo is very new. Huh? Dynamo is very, very old. It's very, very old. The people who started realizing it very, very late. Okay, fine. So smart work is more like using of our brain and using some sort of a techniques and less use of like physical effort. Where there is a more physical effort and it's like a less physical efforts and more brain, more brain. So you're using more brain. So that is the reason company is paying you more. That's it. That is the only reason. Between the modeler and coordinator use more brain. So he's getting more than the modeler. Compared to the coordinator and manager use more brain. So he's getting more than the coordinator. Do you agree or not? If you're like if you're spending more time in using your brain, sharpening your brain, you will definitely get it. And trust me on thing, the way I do provide the training, which is a very, very in a fruitful way. Okay, so I would like to keep your barriers open all the time. Okay, not like this, not like this. Okay, fine. So, do you have any other examples for the smart work and hard work now? Any other examples? No? Okay, fine. So, let's go to the next slide. So fine, we discussed about some sort of a smart work and hard work. Let's go ahead and understand what does a Dynamo do generally with a Revit application. It is telling Mr. Revit, I'm Dynamo. So I'm your superior, I'm your boss. I can kick you out. I can play with you like whatever I want. Like how do I want exactly? So follow my instructions. Just follow my instructions. I'll give you the instructions one by one. Just follow my instructions and do what I say. That's it. Nothing else. Okay. Fine. So for this, I'm going to give you a small theory, like a practical example. I'm going to give you a practical example. How do I create a project parameter? Generally, how do we create a project parameter? How do we create a project parameter? Guys, how do we create a project parameter? Tell me the process. I'm asking Dynamo now. Okay, fine. If you guys are not answering, fine. Let me explain. Creating a project parameter. I have a ready-made script. I have a ready-made script. How can I'm paying this. I'm paying for this script. I paid like around 500 rupees for each script. So I have a total like 25,000 scripts. So 25,000 into 500. So I paid around like something. Okay, so 1 crore 25 lakh something only for the script. Are you ready to pay for this? No, they are open source scripts. So somebody has already worked for you. Somebody has already worked for you and providing the scripts for free of cost. Okay, fine. Before we getting into that, I have a detailed explanation on it. I'll explain that later. First of all, I'm telling the Dynamo, to the Revit using Dynamo node. Okay, so why do we call this node? It is no code. No code. I don't have any code here. I don't have any code here. I didn't write any code. So that is the reason we generally call it as a no code. No code equal to node. Node. Okay, we generally call it as a nodes. Fine. So creating a project parameter. What is this parameter name, group name, type, group, instance, category list? What are all this? I don't understand what is this void. I don't understand why there is an auto. I don't understand why there are like arrows and what should I connect here. And when I click on it, it is giving it's taking a thread from this. So what I can do with this thread? Huh? Is it my tail? No, right? Is it my hair? No. Then what is this? Where should I connect this? You don't understand. So most of the people have the same question. How to use it? Okay, fine. Let me show you the process, the manual process, and let me sync with this concept. Okay. Try to understand. Every concept you have to link and sync. That is what automation. Link and sync. Nothing yet. Okay, fine. Let's go with the manual process. I'll go to the manage. Project parameters. Okay, I have this bar here. Now when I click on add, Oh, again, this is also here. Now, let's start understanding. Let me use my pen. So this is expecting a parameter name. So we generally called the left-hand side part we called as an inputs. Remember this, the first step for today, this is called input. And the right-hand side, what we have called it's a output. Okay, fine. So parameter name, it is expecting a parameter input in the sense what? It is expecting something. So what should I connect? I don't know what should I connect here. Okay, let me sync. So parameter name. So the entire block, it is playing with a where we have a block here. So that is expecting parameter information. Okay. So name. So if I start something, if I type Bimera here, I would like to connect something Bimera here. Group name. I don't know what should I connect the group name. Let me check. Do I have any groups here? I have a group here. Maybe this group is this. What is the type here? Yeah, type here. I could see something here. Type of parameter. Maybe this is the same one. Okay. Let link and sync. Whether you fail or not doesn't matter. If you started syncing with the real actual manual process, you guys are very good in auto. You'll be really good in automation as well. Trust me, seriously. Okay, fine. Group again. Array, I already connected a group and I don't see any groups here. Then what is this group? If I did not connect the group, it will not create a parameter. So what is this group? Shabah. Okay, keep this aside. If you don't understand, we'll think about it later. Instance. Oh, it is asking type or instance. I'll link that with this here. Category list. Do you have any categories here? Here there is a keyword word called categories. Maybe this is expecting for which categories I want to create it. Okay, so out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inputs, I found 5, but still I'm not sure whether they are right or not. Okay, then what is this type or what is this group? Okay, fine. Then let me close this. And when I close this, when I click on shade parameters, when I click on shade parameters, it is asking create new. This is one of a student example. Let me create a new one. Okay.
So the second screen is not visible.
Yeah. No. I'm not showing you. Just there. So there's all the drawings. So when this is a parameter group again. So parameter group, this group is this. This group is this. Clear? Guys are clear? So how do I connect this? Okay, fine. So I got all the inputs, but I don't know. I do understand this is this. A link and sync is done. What about the connection? What about the connection? Okay, so you have to understand using your small brain. Okay, so if you started using your brain, like put more efforts. Don't put your finger. I mean, don't put your like your hard work on your fingers. Okay, don't Google it. Don't do anything. Think. You'll definitely get a solution. Okay, fine. So this process, we generally, I'm not the owner of this. So if I'm the owner of this, I can say, okay, what should I connect it? Okay, fine. This process was generally called as a visual programming. This process we generally called as a visual programming. What is happening? Yep. So is the visual programming new to the industry? Is this visual programming new to the industry? Actually, no, guys. Frankly, okay. Visual programming is from so long. Visual programming is from so long. Visual programming in the sense, if you're not good at programming, so the visual programming will help you where and how, by providing you do have a marketplace. You do have a set of a marketplace. Okay. So what do you mean by marketplace? I mean, if you go to the market and you will buy whatever you want. Correct. For in our case, we are getting some sort of things like .dwf files, .dwin files, .dll files, and some sort of a workflows and the text and whatever. for free of cost. For free of cost. So this is called visual programming, and you no need to write even single line of a code. You no need to write on a single line of a code. In the next, what's a programming? From the scratch, you have to do everything from the scratch. I just show you a node, which is called creating a project parameter. To create that code, you need to set for more than 600 lines. More than, around 400 to 600 lines. You have to set and do manually. So that is called programming. Programming is very tough in the initial days. So that is the reason they have released this concept called visual programming. They have released this programming as well. How many of you have seen this? There is an option called macros in Revit. How many of you have seen the macros in Revit? In the manage tab, in the macros,
I saw that, sir.
macro manager and macro security. Just click on the macro manager. But okay, just click on macro manager, okay, and click on module and type some sort of a module name like deleting duplicate something, delete duplicates, okay, and C# and type something, okay, and click OK, and then it will create a module here, and then just click on run or edit. Then see the miracle, what it happens. There is a hidden application in your Revit. There's a hidden application in your Revit that is called Sharp Develop. That's called Sharp Develop. It is for pure programmers, and it got failed. So that is the reason the very few people are using that macros. Very few people are using like macros, because you guys are not good in programming. You guys are pure into the BIM, not into the coding. So that is the reason even the persons who doesn't know the coding, they should able to play. They can able to create a like some sort of automation scripts for that reason. And trust me, guys, even this Dynamo is going to be like paid that time. Even though if you're ready to learn, you're ready to play with it, you have to pay for it. Seriously. Okay, so the Dynamo is initially, this is a marketing strategy. Whatever, if I'm going to release, if I'm going to popular, if my product is going to be popular, I have to release it for free of cost. You understand? Once it started being everywhere, okay, I feel okay, there are 5 lakh people are using my tool. Then I started charging like 500 rupees in the first year, 5,000 rupees in the second year. Marketing strategy. You understand? Reaching. Still, the Dynamo has reached up to some extent. That is not even a small. Okay, I'll show you that now. Okay, so even though if you would like to learn that time, that's why it's going to be very expensive for you. Okay, fine. Well, let me show something. Okay, so what is a visual programming? Okay, fine. So I'm going to play with a Dynamo with it's a visual programming interface, and what I can see with that, there are a lot of scripts available for free of cost, and you directly download it and enjoy it. So after you download the scripts, you download it from where? Go to the dynamopackages.com. Let me show you that. Let me show you that even on my second screen. Dynamopackages.com. Visit the dynamopackages.com, and we have total 1767 packages. So let's consider package in the sense like a folder. In every folder we have a different kind of a files, so some sort of a number of files. Let's consider, in very worst case, on an average, in every package we can see 100 scripts. So 100 into 1767. Let me edit this page for some time to make you understand. Total 1,76,700 scripts are waiting for you. Understand? Yeah, nice question, CSC. So they're not for every like versions. In that packages, they have a different kind of a builds again. There are different kind of builds. Okay, so wait for some time, I'll explain. Okay, so these packages you can start. I mean these are not a packages now. So into multiply into 100, these are scripts. So there are 1,76,700 ready-made scripts for you. Okay, and these are done by total 1080 developers. Okay, fine. Now you can ask me something. Okay, I have downloaded the scripts, but I'm not the owner. Who is the owner? Who is the owner? I don't know what he has written in that particular script. How can I read it? How can I read that? To play with that particular node, how do I read it first of all? Okay, this is called anatomy. Reading something and customizing. You can customize it. You can connect it. How to connect with the other script. So this is where like most of the people have a question. There is a node. It creates a wall openings based on your MEP requirements. Okay, you have a script. You have a node which isolate all the class elements in just one shot. You have a script, but you don't know like how to use it. If you're not the owner of the script, you should be able to understand how the guy has written the code, and what he has written in the code, and how to read it, and how to change it, how to customize it. Okay, fine. I can easily customize that node. That's fine. How can I connect with another node? There is another node should be connected to this, and how can I connect with another node? How do you understand it? So this entire training, so only these concepts itself, I do take 6 hours to finish the concept. And not on 6 hours. Forget about this. This is the entire training, okay? So this is the entire training. So from who is the owner? How do you know it? Okay, and what he has written to see that, how to read it, how to understand it, customize it, and connect with other scripts. 6 hours to 8 hours, and the last one, the full day, the full entire training. Okay, so how to drive the data, how to manipulate the data. For example, if I am expecting something, it gives something else. If I'm expecting something, it gives something else. No, I don't want the entire story, my dear. Just show me some part of it. That's it. You don't know like how to exactly get that output from it. There are different kind of a concepts called parent and child concept. These are all like programming concepts, but I don't teach you the in a programmer's method. They're very, very in a fruitful method into the BIM perspective only. Always there is an example for the programming, link and sync with the Revit part in the Dynamo. Okay, don't worry. And managing the data. If you are doing good in all this stuff, you are the expert for sure. And trust me, you'll be start writing your own script from the third day itself. Just wait only for the 3 days. Please allow me for 3 days, and then see yourself after the third day, after 6 hours, you'll be start writing your own script very confidently. Trust me on that. Okay, fine. So this is a Dynamo package manager. Okay, so Dynamo is not only for Revit. Dynamo is not only for the Revit. For example, if you learn this Dynamo, okay, you can apply the same concept in, if there is a civil 3D guy who's working in your office, okay, you can help him. If there is a SketchUp guy who changed his platform from SketchUp to Format, okay, it's a Format is like a replica to SketchUp, so you can go and help him. So I'm going to teach you. I'm not teaching you Dynamo here, my dear guys. So sorry. I'm teaching you visual programming concepts. Okay, so there are expecting, the Autodesk is going to release in most of the applications. This is what the statement from the Autodesk given in the their website also. They listed it's like a coming soon. Okay, so they're going to release this Dynamo in all the application. So once you started learning this, you able to play with any kind of Autodesk application, and you can automate anything. Trust me, the way they explain the strategy, this is not only for the Revit. Most of the people ask me, sir, I'm into the civil 3D. I'm into the civil 3D. Can I create a bridge? Why not? Easily, because I'm not teaching you the Dynamo for Revit. I'm teaching you the visual programming for Revit application. I'm just using a Revit application and Dynamo interface to teach the visual programming concepts. Seriously, okay? The way the concepts, I'm going to show you that course curriculum, all the concepts where what did I mention it over there? All are visual programming concepts. You understand? For me, to create my own Dynamo script, it took very long time, very confidently. So script in the sense placing 2-3 nodes and creating a script is not a script. Playing with a 20 to 30 nodes is the actual script. Okay, script in the sense if you're trying to code something, that is called script. If you're creating and placing some sort of a nodes, then it's not called a script. It's just a graph. It is just a graph. There is a difference. So most of the people calling as a Dynamo script Dynamo. Hooray, idiots! That's not a Dynamo script. It's a Dynamo graph. Autodesk people only they pronounce it very clearly. That's a Dynamo graph. Okay. So well. So rather than typing code with the Dynamo, you create programs by manipulating graphic elements. Dynamo can do almost everything that Revit can, yes. And sometimes it's much better than the Revit. Okay, fine. By accessing and understanding the Revit API, so you can create some sort of workflows. Okay, so fine. So this is the programming way, guys. So programming is a bit tough compared to the visual programming. Visual programming is very interesting. And you started, and you will be showing more into on. Sir, when do you teach me Python? When do you teach me Python? If I start teaching you Python from the day one, sir, I can't join, sir. Please, I don't understand. Please, wapas my money, sir. See, so don't always go in a right way. Don't misguide yourself. Don't look at that video, these video. There is no proper link. Nothing. Why you should have to go with the coding first, where it is not required at all. Use the resources you already have first. Then, if you're still not happy with it, then go for the second stage and start creating your own. You understand? Okay. We making scripts will work on another versions. Yes, why not? It will work. So that is again a different scenario. If you have a 2017 Revit model, can you open in 2016? Revit model in 2017, can you open it in 2016? Can you open it in 1620?
No, sir.
No, right?
No.
The same thing happens
No,
with
sir.
Dynamo as well, but not completely. You understand? So there is the only problem between the Dynamo 1.0 and Dynamo 2.0. What is that? Because I told you the interface has completely changed. The Dynamo 1.0 is into the XML version, the Dynamo 2.0 into the JSON version. So that is the reason the XML files cannot be opened in a JSON. The JSON files cannot be opened in the XML. Only that case you cannot open, upgrade and downgrade it. For example, you have a script, you have done a script in 2.5 and you're trying to open in the script in 2.2, it works because they are same versions. They are same versions, 2.0 versions only. But when it comes to the one, that's a different interface. Interface is completely different and versions are completely different. One is in a different interface, two is in a different interface. So 1.0, if you create a script in 1.0, you can open it in 1.5. If you have a script in 1.8, you can open it in 1.0 because those two are in the same applications. It means, can you open an Excel document in MS Office, MS Word? No, correct? You cannot open MS Word file in MS Excel. The same thing. Okay, 1.0, 2.0 is completely different. So if you start creating something, yes, if there is any change in the API, there would be some sort of a tasks you have to redo it. It is called troubleshooting. If you created a script in the project one, in the project two, I mean, after 3 months or after 6 months, you have another project and you want to apply the same strategy in the project two. And when you're trying to run the script, it will not work. Why? Many reasons. There are many reasons. For example, if there is an element missing in a plan view, floor plan view, what is the first thing that you notice? What is the first thing that you check? CSA. Who is it? CSA? I don't. What is your name, Mr. CSA? What is your name, Mr. CSA? Chandrasekhar. Okay. Okay. So Chandrasekhar. So what do you do first? Level up. Okay. Fine. What else? In a level 1, you know that is a level 1. Okay. So there is an element hidden, and you don't know why. You can see that element is in 3D, but you can't see that in a floor plan. So which is the first one that you check? Scheduler. What schedule? No, it's there in 3D, right? It's there in 3D. Why that element is not visible in that particular floor plan? First thing, you will check the VV.
View range. Properties.
Correct. We'll check what properties. Okay, whatever. VV. You check VV. Okay, the categories, particular category is checked. That's fine. And then you will check the view range. View range is also fine. And then you'll check work sense. Work sense is also fine. Then you'll check filters. So there are multiple results. You guys are playing with the Revit from since at least minimum 2 years. You'll come to know all this. You get these kind of questions you have on your fingertips. The same way, I do provide you the lot of this kind of stuff. Just give me a second. Let me mute this phone. Okay, so you have a lot of reasons. The picture is not. The picture is not. I mean, I'm completely confused. I'm sorry. Why there is an element is not visible? That's because of any reason. So why this is not working on newer version? It has many reasons. So that reasons will be learning. You will be learning in the training. Okay. So without troubleshooting, you are 0. Okay. There are 15 concepts, 15 to 20 concepts. Sorry. So there are 15 to 20 concepts. You are expert in 15 concepts, and you are very poor in 5. You are 0 in Dynamo. You are you are very clear in 19 concepts, and you are 0 in the 20th concept. You are completely 0. That is the way I teach you. That is the way my training would be. Okay, so go and check my reviews on the training reviews on the Google. Then you will definitely realize what I'm saying. Okay, fine. So this is called a programming. To create a small wall, you need to write 10 lines of code. To connect one to one, to create 1, 2, 3 floors and placing the windows and creating the roof and placing the doors and staircase, everything. 300 lines of code. Why should I write 300 lines of code? Why should I waste my time? Huh? Why should I waste my time? Let's use someone's resource. Someone's resource. Okay, that is what visual programming. That is what the visual programming. Okay, so in 2015 the Dynamo was very we used to play with the very basics, very small solutions like creating a sheets. Okay, like creating worksets, creating the view templates are very small in 2015. But in 2022 they're very advanced. Okay, so you and one thing I can tell you clearly, in my training I'm not going to teach you any kind of scripts which are not which are not relevant, because my intention is very clear to teach you the concepts that it may yourself to create your own scripts. You guys understand? I don't leave even a single pinpoint of the entire concept. If teaching the Dynamo is just a 1 hour task for me, you can't learn anything from the Dynamo. It's a it's a just 1 hour. If you wish to enroll that for 1 hour, happily, that's a different module again. I can teach you everything in just 1 hour itself, but no use of it. Understand the rules. I am here to teach you the rules. Okay, so understand it. Okay, fine. So in 2022, well, so Dynamo is in our application, so that is in the visual programming. Still, that is in the visual programming. It is not in a programming. It is in the visual programming. What do you mean by visual programming? And what can I do that? Oh, if you notice this, Dynamo Sandbox, Dynamo Revit. We have a 2 Dynamos? No, we have a 4 Dynamos. Dynamo Revit comes with a Revit installation. Dynamo Sandbox is to test the features. Sandbox is not a new concept again. If you type WhatsApp sandbox, you can see, you can test the new WhatsApp features, like how we have a WhatsApp beta. Okay, like how we have a WhatsApp beta. Type WhatsApp sandbox. Type Twitter sandbox. Type some other any application sandbox, LinkedIn sandbox. You'll definitely find. So that sandbox is a terminology which comes from the programming language. Okay, so we have a 4 different kind of a dynamos: Dynamo Revit, Dynamo Core, Dynamo Sandbox, Dynamo Studio. Due to some reasons, the Dynamo Studio has been stopped in 2020. Yeah, in 2020, because of the Autodesk is not getting the revenue from, they lost the revenue because of the developers. They're not purchasing the Revit license and they are using the free Dynamo Studio. That is the reason they removed it completely. Okay, fine. So this is the general programming structure. Okay, so this is the programming structure. If you go and ask any, I mean, if you have any like friends or cousins, or someone in your team who is working under like a programming structure, you would ask them, so what is the namespace, what is the class and constructor, method, identifiers, fields, properties, functions, anything, they'll come and explain you. So hope you know what is this. What is this? What is this, guys?
Revit.
What is this?
It is a Revit logo.
Navisworks. Correct? Is it Navisworks? Hey, this is not N. This is a Visual Studio. So I told you there is a powerful file for every application that is called API. So Revit API.dll file, when I drag and load into this, like how we are linking another Revit files, if I link the same into this, then I started seeing the code and I can understand all this. If you started understanding all this, you can create, you can automate anything. You can create something. Okay, so let me show you something, and I want to go with a verse, like we just have 20 minutes left. Okay, so I don't want to make you wait. I think few people are started sleeping also. Isn't it? No, guys, fine. So let me select this element. Okay, so how many parameters we have here? How many parameters we have here?
Hi, Rajesh. Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you in between. I have just minor doubt about it. So this Dynamo can be used in coordination. Means like if we have one pipe and it is getting clashed with the beam and other object, and we can run a script and that it will identify the clashes, and by elements ID and all those things, it will resolve those things.
I'll show you even if you want. Okay, so
we can do it. We can do those things
very easily. I do generally teach these kind of a concepts in the 6th day training or 7th day training. Okay, so like
what about that?
Yeah,
sorry to interrupt you again. So when we are doing this clash detection and also sometimes we need to elevate the pipe and we need to make it down, so those kind of exercises also we can do.
Yeah, you can do it, but not completely with the Dynamo.
Okay.
Not completely with the Dynamo. Okay, so there is, like, if you see BIM add-ins, so we recently released an add-in called MEP Rerouter. Okay, go to my profile or else go to the BIM like a company page, and you can find an MEP Rerouter, like how it works. Okay, and then you will come and see this is similar to exactly this. All the add-ins what we have developed from these are in the initial stage. These are we created from a Dynamo scripts. This all the add-ins we generated from the Dynamo scripts only. So it means, to explain you, there is a possibility. There is no for nothing. I mean, the automation, you can automate it. Okay, for example, you have a Navisworks clash report file. You just have a Navisworks clash report file, and you have the item 1 elements, item 2 elements. So always what you're doing, you just copy element ID from the Navisworks and come back to Revit and isolating it. Why you have to do it again and again and again? Do you have any method? Yes. So the Dynamo will get all the item 1 element IDs, item 2 element IDs, and for item 1 element IDs, it will apply the red color or orange color, and item 2 elements, it will apply the green color, and it will isolate in a particular 3D view, so that you can see the scope of where there are more clashes in the Revit itself. You understand?
Can I
Okay,
ask?
yeah.
So, sorry?
Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, Ankit, but we have only 20 minutes. Please ask quickly.
Okay, suppose there is a clash, like pipe is clashing with beams and duct. Okay,
Hmm.
and we have an option to elevate the pipe down entirely, so that we can remove all the clashes at once. So can Dynamo do that? Is that Dynamo that was smart
That is
to
what I'm telling you.
elevate the pipe down now?
That is what I'm telling you. See, guys, as a trainer and as a mentor, I'll never use any false keywords. I'll never give any false commitments. Okay. So as I told you before, the Dynamo has a limitations. The Dynamo has a limitations. As on my experience, what I'm saying, the Dynamo can play up to 60% workflows. What Tamarakar or I don't know, she has a query, right? So those kind of
Yeah,
tasks.
Kankana Tamrakar.
Kankana, okay, fine. So I'll call you as Kankana. Okay. So
okay,
those kind of a task can be done, and rerouting needs a Python coding again. That is in the second stage. That if you want to play up to that extent, you have to give more conditions. You have to give more conditions, and you cannot create those kind of conditions with the Dynamo. Frankly, I'm telling you, don't expect those kind of advanced things. Clear, guys? So where you are,
yes,
when you are a beginner, you can do up to 60% of your modeling tasks. So whatever you do, but don't expect that 40% task. Clear? If you are into the stage 2, you can do whatever like you asked for. You can easily take an automate. You can reroute it again. Clear, guys? Okay, fine. So let's get into the other topic. What? I completely forget. Okay, fine. So this is a properties palette for the BIM modelers. Correct? This is the properties palette for BIM modelers. But for BIM developers, we have a different properties palette that you haven't seen that before. Current selection. This is a properties palette. This is the properties palette. Okay. So I have an element and I want to get the ID of the particular element. So element dot ID. So I'll get the 74657 as an element ID. I want to know the name of this. So element dot name, it's a MDP3. Element dot is the element pinned or not. Element dot pinned is false. So let me close this. I'll pin this element and I'll come back and I'll check it again. So Snoop current selection. So yeah, the element is pinned. So it is a true again. Oh, so can I see the parameters here? The parameters. So this is the only parameters what we are seeing, and you're just seeing the value here. Apparent load phase A. Apparent load phase A 51474.17 VA. That's it. That's it. So what is this and what is this value? Generally, Revit has designed in a feet and inches. Feet. Okay, so feet and inches. So the value which is in a feet and inches, the value which is exactly showed here. Okay, there are two different kind of standards. Okay, so apparent load phase A, apparent load phase B. Out of this everything, we're just seeing only the simple one single value. And what about this? You can play with a lot. This is an element ID. This is an element ID 746575, and there is an element, another element ID for the same element. How come? Element has only one element ID? No, every element has a 4 different IDs. Every element has a 4 different IDs. One is a element ID, and second one is a type ID, and third one is like a family ID, and fourth one is a category ID. So where is this element coming from? It's coming from a different type. So this is a type ID 619617. So sometimes when you copy the ID from the Navisworks and when you're trying to find out in the Revit, sometimes it shows like a blank. It's like a grayed out. Why? Instead of copying the element ID, you copy the type ID. That is the reason. Okay. So where is this type coming from? Without there is no family, you cannot get you cannot create an ID, or you cannot create a type. So where is this coming from? It's coming from a family. So that family has a different ID. It's 741874. Oh, where is this family is coming from? So while I create the family, I need to specify what category is it. So the category ID. So the category ID would be here, family category, and this is the category ID. And beyond the category, there is nothing. So this is called Revit hierarchy, element hierarchy. If you're aware of all this, you just go and Google it, like Revit hierarchy will come to see category, family, type, element. I mean instances, whatever. Okay. So every element has a 4 different IDs. You can play with how, when do you play with element ID? When do you play with the family ID? When do you play with the type ID? When do you play with the category ID? If you have thousands of elements, array, if I started playing with the Dynamo, it will disturb all the elements, man. Who said? You use a filter. Use a filter. Use your brain. Filter out of 10,000 elements, get only 10. Use a filter. We have a method, it's called filter by Boolean mask. So when you use a filter, it will eliminate all the 9,990 elements and it will get you only the 10 elements. Delete those. Clear? That's it. Okay, fine. Yeah, Snoop selection, Snoop parameter. Okay, fine. So let me get into the main topic. So we have only 15 minutes time. Let me explain. So we have a 3 different kind of methods. 3 different kind of methods. This is the designer's method, what I'm going to teach you, okay, in the training. So generally this is called as a node based method, and I'm going to teach you the design script method as well. So node is very beautiful and design scripting is very beautiful. You don't even like to play with the node based method. Once you're done with the training, the entire training, I'm teaching the design scripting where you started writing the code, the beautiful code. Okay, so it's very easy. Trust me, you will thoroughly enjoy it, the design scripting. Okay, fine. So the programmers know this is not in the stage 1, this is a complete into the stage 2. Okay, fine. So there are 3 different methods: designer, programmer, manager. If you guys applied computational thinking methods like algorithms, abstractions, and analysis, you can create a 3D model with the multiple design options and with a coordinated design, but not it's a complete coordinated. I never say it's 100% coordinated. It's somehow coordinated. That's it. After that, there is a modeler required to move up and down. That is the reason once you started being into that kind of a role, you are the boss. Let's take you have a 2 years experience and the coordinator has a 6 years experience. Still, you are the boss to your coordinator. If you are really good in automation, because the modeler, if the modeler can do a task in 4 hours, the coordinator will be doing the same, maximum we'll say 30 minutes because of its hands-on. You understand? But the programmer can save the complete 4 hours into just 10-15 minutes. Initially it will take some time, I do agree. To create a script, initially it will take some time, but it saves a lot of time in future. You guys understand what I'm trying to say? Okay, fine. So 3D programming, where you can create these kind of structures. I'm like moving the slides a bit faster. Okay, so thus and automate, like you can create this kind of a like parametric stadium, creating all this kind of stuff. So they are just the basic circles. So that circles been into a shape when you started playing with a different. That's it. Fusion family, like. So not only the Dynamo, the visual programming concepts, what I teach you, you can apply the same similar concepts in different applications even. Okay, and Cat 3. So this we have already implemented it. And we solved this. And actually we decided to sell this product, but I mean release this product for free. So I think this is how somewhat like you guys are asking for. Okay, correct? Yes, we did it exactly the same. Okay, that happens only with the coding part. And this is a builder's work, and this is very old Revit actually. I think it is on 2016 it seems. Builders work, wall openings, creating wall openings. If there is any change happened, see, automatically that these things are also keep moving by itself. Placing elements using the CAD file. So where, see, just one single click. So wherever there is a elements. I mean, wherever you have a lights, I mean, wherever there are CAD blocks in the CAD, so it will understand that it will place the families instantly. Scenario analysis to the particular ceilings with the respect to ceiling heights. Analysis, heat load calculations for architects, drafting, sheet creation, and automate tagging for the documentation. You can use this automation, you can use this Dynamo everywhere. You can play with every single element in your Revit model. There is no limitation at all. Understand? Fine. So data control. For example, most of the people, what we are doing here, so while placing all the elements, the engineer has come and say, "Ore, Mr. Kumar, there is no L1 D116. There is no L1. It's a level 1, and D16. There is no fiction now. Just remove it." Now, what am I supposed to do? 16 has to be changed. Once it is deleted, the 17 has to be. Where is the 17 here? Somewhere. It's 17 has to be 16. 18 has to be 17. 19 has to be 18. So I have to rename everywhere. Am I right? Okay, I did for the ones. That's fine. But again, the engineer has come and asked me to add 3 more lighting features or 3 more sprinklers. So again, I have to rename. Do you think I'm a donkey? Whatever you say. Do you want me to do exactly what you say all the time? It's not with a one level. I have to change everywhere in the 50 floors building. Huh? Do you understand what I really used to frustrate like anything with this kind of stuff? Then I started realized, okay, I found a sort of a solutions, sort of an add-ins. Then add-ins cannot be customized. So then I found a lot of solutions. Then I found this. Okay, I can write my own code. Then I started learning. I joined Python first. The same thing I did. Even I'm a fool. Okay, in 2016, I joined Python. Then even I'm not able to create a single wall also. Then I realized, okay, this is not a actual Python what I'm supposed to learn. There is a different Python. Then I texted in a Dynamo forum. Then the people, they said, Python is a not, I mean, the general Python will not help you anymore. Then said Iron Python. I started Googling Iron Python. I couldn't find any resource. Then I started playing with a Dynamo. You understand? Python, no needed. Even though you learn Python in any institute, no. You can't create a single parameter with a Python. Understand? Okay, there's a different Python completely. It's called Iron Python. Okay, fine. So data control, it's not that easy. It's not that easy if you don't know the roots. I'm here to teach the roots. I'm not here to teach the scripts. Why should I waste your time? You have a lot of resources available in YouTube. Come and ask me, sir, can I follow any YouTube video? I'll give you the best video. Just go and watch it. You can easily understand. But if you don't understand the video, then it's my promise. It's my problem, because that is, yeah, whatever. The same thing. There are a lot of videos. There are a lot of videos from Balkan. That guy, I really like that guy. Who is that? Asi Bimguru. Exactly. So there are a lot of people. I really like them because they're helping us, but the videos doesn't have a clear. Asi Bimguru. Yeah, they don't have a proper explanation. They don't explain, because they don't explain why it has to be, why it's done. They just create a script and they start teaching the script. They start explaining the script. That's it. They don't teach you why you have to use this particular node. What if you use a different set of node? They don't teach you the concept. They teach you the script. There's a difference between teaching the scripts and teaching the concept. I do teach concepts. I do sell the concept. I'm not selling the scripts. Trust me. You guys, once you started learning yourself, you can sell your scripts. Be used for your, like, whatever. The most of the people, what they do. Last batch I taught using Civil 3D and Revit using. I mean, they created some sort of a bridges, like a tunnel as well. So they started, whenever they created a new stuff, just post yourself. Just post it on your social media. The people who have started following you, they started poking you. Seriously. Okay, even the company, you'll get a lot of opportunity. I got a lot of opportunities from the LinkedIn only. So that is the reason I am providing the certification, which is from the LinkedIn. I'm paying some X amount, it's a huge amount. Still not a problem, because it is directly going, and I'll send you, if you have any questions, text me on WhatsApp so that I can share the certification details. You'll be able to see the under BIMer Academy certificate under licensing and certifications. Only for that reason I'm paying it. And this is called a digital certificate. Okay, it's a verified one. Fine. So data control, add-in versus Dynamo. I don't want to show the complete video. So add-in is a not customizable, and the script, which from the Dynamo, the same script I have, so which is customizable. Okay, so data exchange.
Hi Rajesh.
Yes.
Rajesh.
Yeah, Prasad.
Sorry for interrupting. I'm a BIM content creator. I create families like every day. It's my job. So how will Dynamo be helpful in family creations?
You create a family.
I know I use some scripts for like filling on the manual things, like putting the ID. Sorry. Like.
Understand. I have this answer. So generally, when you're creating the families, you don't create only the basic shape. You will create a lot of family parameters on it, and you will write a lot of lookup conditions on it. Those conditions you write it in the Dynamo as well. You understand?
Okay.
So those conditions will be understand. If there is any change in that family, it should not disturb the structure. You understand? So the Dynamo will help you in that. You understand? So creating a family.
Will you be covering?
No, that isn't that advanced. Okay, fine. Well, for designers, for example, if you're into the structure background, you can use this as a React. This is Autodesk React structures. You can, if you have a basic lines, you can simply convert that into the structures. Okay, so I haven't explained any kind of a architectural structure example or MEP examples in this demo. Why? Because I already told you. I mean, if you want to go and see how those really, if you want to see that particular kind of an examples, go and watch my previous demo. Any previous demo. I have explained some sort of a things on it. Okay, fine. So this kind of attraction systems, and for engineers, they can. I mean, if the engineers, they don't know like how to create even a basic thing. Okay, so if they have an Excel, you can easily convert that into this. Yes.
Hello, Rajesh. My question is there. Actually, while sharing that Revit model, we have to share that script with that third party
No need.
person.
No need. You don't need. For example, once it has already been into the model, you don't need. You can delete that script also. Okay. So if you are a service provider and the client is expecting something, just get it done, and you don't need to send that. If you are a freelancer, get it done from the Dynamo, and you don't need to send that. Once you saved in your model, you can happily close the script, and you don't need to use the script anymore. You understand? Until unless the requirement comes again. Clear?
Okay, understood.
Fine. So thank you. So I'm just in a hurry because I don't want to waste your time. It's already 10:30 here. If you guys are not feeling bored, I can take a 2-hour session more. I don't have any issue at all, but I don't want to disturb others. Okay, fine. For the BIM managers and clients, they do have a data in different kind of like applications. Few people get in Excel, a few people get in XML. So they're fed up with all this kind of a set of documents. But the Dynamo will help you to create this kind of a like very beautiful tool. I mean, like this is called dashboards. Yeah. So this tool is called a Power BI. So Power BI in the sense like business intelligence tool, which create this kind of a visual data. You can happily see that. Okay, you can happily see in my last demo I shown like how you can use the Power BI as well. Okay, you can watch my previous demo on the YouTube channel, or else you can go and follow my LinkedIn posts that I recently posted like 1 month ago. Okay, fine. So the Dynamo is acting like a mediator between the multiple applications. If you have a data in Excel, you can convert that into the Revit elements. You have on elements, you have a Revit elements. You can use some. You can extract the data, some of the data, and export into the Excel. Navisworks, SketchUp, and Inventor Pro and Rhino, whatever you have. Dynamo is acting like a mediator between those applications. Okay, fine. You can use this Dynamo not only in LBD 400 or 500. You can use in all the stages. Okay, can we use Power BI, Google Analytics to replace Power BI? This I haven't tried before. Still, I think you can use it because, like how we have an add-ins in Power BI, if you have an option to integrate the Google Analytics by using that ID, you can use it. Hopefully, okay. But I'm not sure. I haven't played that Google Analytics before. Okay, fine. So this is a Dynamo player. So whatever the scripts that you create, if you want to make it more private and if you want to make it more private and not let them not let anyone edit that, you have to convert that into the Dynamo player script. Okay, and I do teach you the Dynamo player script, and I teach you some sort of a generative design concepts. You have a model, and that model generates a number of models. You create a script, and that script creates a number of buildings, number of flows, number of elements, whatever. Generative design. Okay. It's just like 1 hour concept. The people think generative design is a very huge concept. No, it's a very, very easy concept if you really understand the logic behind it. So without knowing the Dynamo, you can't use it. You cannot use the generative design. Seriously. Okay. Well, so yeah. So this is the only reason like why we are preferring Dynamo. It saves a time by reusing the graphs, and in your next projects it will do the repetitive tasks, reduce the manpower, no human errors. Even humans can do sort of mistakes, but an automation script cannot. Typo errors, we do that lot of typo errors, but it cannot. More efficient, yes. More faster than us, very yes. So it saves the money to not to you, to the company. Okay, so these are the core principles. Before these are the only things that you have to focus on. This is a very powerful presentation. I took like very I took a lot of time to create this. So if you understand anatomy of a node and data types, understanding inputs and output, dot notation, list management, lacing concepts, you are the best, and you are like 80% equal to the 2 years of Dynamo experienced candidate, because I am going to teach you my 5.5 years experience, R&D experience. I'm selling you, I'm teaching you for a next 20 days. Okay, so my next batch is going to start from May 9th. Okay, so out of like most of the students are already enrolled. Okay, even though the people who enrolled, I mean they just want to attend the demo, so just taking the demo for them as well. Okay, well, so before we getting into this, let me explain you what is the bonus tip, how to understand the notes. The first step is the one on the left hand side we generally called as an input. Okay, and the right hand side we generally called as an output. So this input, this input, this input, this input, this input, this input needs the data, and that we generally called as a data types. Generally we called as a data types. If you understand the data types, you can able to play with any kind of an input. Any kind of an input. So that is the same data types which I'm going to teach you in next 3 days, from the day 1 to the day 3. Okay, so how do you sync that data types? In between, am I using any sort of a masala to make it more spicy? Yes, I do. I do exactly the same. Okay, just give you a short intro. Okay, what are the data types? Let's see. Let me show you something. Here is all the drawings. Let's see the parameters. let's see the parameters. I selected this. I selected an element. Select an element. If I want to move this element without using the cursor, how can you do that? Without moving that element, how can I move this? Which is around 1849. I want to make it to. I want to set this element height to the 2000. How? How? Changing the number.
You can
in
change the
property
level.
palette. Correct? Changing the number. So number is a data. Number is a data. Correct? So you no need to play with an elements. If you know how to play with the data, it means you're playing with an element. That's it. You're playing with a geometrical object. You're playing with the points. You're playing with the lines. You're playing with the blocks. Clear? So if I change this value to 2000, oh, elements need to be disconnected. Disconnect, no problem. So the element is set to 2000 now. Okay, I want to do the same thing with the help of Dynamo now. Let's do the same thing. I want to select a model element. I'm telling the same thing. Mr. Dynamo, can you select model element? I want to select a model element. Select model element. So I want to select the model element. Click on select. Minimize this, and see it's a stop sign now. It means there is nothing to select here. There is nothing to select. Okay, let me select the panel. So which is saying that 746575, like a few minutes ago, we have seen this element ID, the same number, 746575. So this is a Revit element. No, I'm into the Revit now. Sorry, I'm into the Dynamo now. I want to convert this Revit element into the Dynamo element. How can I do that? Something else. Let me go to the 3D and click on this. No, I can't see anything. Okay. Element. I have an element. And I want to know the ID of it. Element.id. I know the element. I just want to know the name of it. Element.name. I have an element with me and I want to get the location. So get the location. I have an element. I want to get the type of it. So get type. You understand? So what it does exactly? When I connect the element to this element, the tip 2 is the input, okay, the input of this node and the output of the connecting node both should match exactly. If this is expecting an element, you are supposed to connect element only. If this is expecting an integer, I'm getting an integer. Okay, what is that? Something. What is an element ID? Uncompleted. Let me connect this to this. 746575. Okay, I want to add some number to this. So that is a number. So number. Okay, how do we add it? I want to add 9999 to this number. Just a basic calculation. How? I need a additional function operator. So operators. I'm going to connect this value to the x and I'm going to connect this value to y. Now add something. 756574. It is 746575. It is 756574. Something. Okay, it's a small number. Okay, so that is how we are. So this is expecting a number. So I connected a number to this. This is also expecting a number. So I connected this to this. What happened if I connect a string to it? String means what? Okay, let me try. Let me play with the same element. Set parameter. Set parameter by name. Oh, it is expecting an element. Let me connect the element to this element. Parameter name. It is expecting the parameter name. So what is the parameter name? Elevation from level. Okay. So I'll take a string. String means it is allowing me to enter the text. So elevation from level. Okay. So when I connect this to this, and what is the value that you want me to set? 2000. So let's say copy paste, and I want to type 2000. Oh, it's already 2000. No, let me set 2100. Let me connect this to this. Urre, what happened, man? What's that? The parameter storage step is not a string. Are you idiot? I'm expecting something else, but you connected a string. The parameter storage step is not a string. Oh, I connected a string. So there is a bug here. So if you started understanding, if you understanding this errors, if you understand these errors, you can easily create your own scripts. Seriously, okay? So let me. And what is that expecting? How do I come to know the data type? Okay, for that there is a simple tip called, let's try the same thing. Element elm dot parameters. So when I connect this element to this, oh, it is giving the parameters. See, it's giving the parameters, but I don't want to see. I don't want to see all. I just want to see something which is elevation from level. So which is E, elevation from level. It's 1850 now. Okay. So element dot parameters dot. I just want to see the 24th element. 24th element. So type 24 in the box. Oh my goodness, I got the elevation from level. Okay, if I want to get only the name, I want to play with only the name dot name. Elevation from, oh no, I just want to, I want to play with the value. Type value. See, it's giving me the actual value. Okay, I just want to know what is the storage type of it. Just want to know what is the storage type of it. I'll say storage type. Ooh, it is a double. So double in the sense it is a number. How do you come to know? That's a data type. So we have only few data types. One is integer, and second one is double, and third one is string, and fourth one is element ID. Okay, let it be. Leave that as such. And boolean. So if you understand only these data types, you can almost like play with most of the parameters very easily. Seriously, okay, you no need to struggle that much if you started understanding all this stuff. Int is a double, string, element ID, and boolean. Okay, so it is saying it's a double. I know what do you mean by double. It is a number. So, oh, I should not take the string. I have to take a number. So I'll take a number. I'll take a number, one number, and I set like 2100 over there. And when I 100, when I connect this to this, okay, element needs to be disconnected. That is what the same warning it has came when I'm playing manually with it. Now see, it is at 2100. Perfect. Fine. Let me try with something else. So mark is a number again. Correct? Mark is a number again. Guys, am I right? Yes, am I right? Mark is a number. So yes. I want to play with the mark parameter. I want to play with the mark parameter now. I want to set the value mark parameter from 44 to, let me mute again, everyone. So I want to change this to the mark. Okay, that's fine. So connect this to this. I want to set the same value, or else I want to set 100 to the mark. Oh, what happened? I see there is a mark parameter stores 100 number in it. When I enter 100 manually, it is accepting. But when I type 100 from the Dynamo, it is not accepting. Why? Okay, let's see the warning. The parameter storage step is not. Do you think I'm a fool? 100 is a number, and how can you say that storage step is not a number? Maybe there is another reason. So I'll teach you all these concepts. So I never let you down with any kind of errors for sure. Okay. So there are a lot of errors. There are a lot of errors. Dynamo in the sense, like programming in the sense, it's an error. So just go and talk to a programmer. How they are like suffering, like how they have a lot of pain only because of the errors. I'll teach you the concepts. That's it. I'm not teaching you any scripts here. Okay, fine. The mark 100. So when I connect this to this, the parameters to, okay, fine. I have a method. I'll use this method. So I'll connect the element parameters. The 24 is not the thing what I want. Okay, so where is the mark? Where is the mark? Mark. Yep, 64 element. So in the box, I'll type 64. Why should I type the 64 in the box? Indexing, you'll be knowing that in a training. So dot, okay, let me get, yeah, marked value. So dot, let me check what is the value. Yeah, it's a value is 100. Okay, fine. What is the storage type of it? Storage type of it. Oh, it is a string. It is not a double. It looks like a number. It looks like a number, but it is not a number. So that is why I did a mistake. So Control C, Control V. Mark, I connect this, and it is already 100 over there. Let me change it to the 200. Let me check. Let me go and check now. The value is 200. See, where while you're playing with the programming, I just shown you only the two examples. There are around like 15 to 16 examples only on this. Okay, so we are playing with the data. We are playing with the data from the day one to the day end. We are playing with the data. So you should be very careful, understand. Okay, so somewhere it is looking like there is a number and text. There is number and text. Somewhere it is showing some sort of a different characters. I don't know what is it. Sometimes it looks like a number, but that is not a number. That's not a number. You understand? Okay. So what are all this stuff? You will come to know in our training. Okay. So what else we have here? So there are, as I said before, understanding three different hints, three important hints. So understanding three important hints are nothing but the way you understand this. The way you understand this. When you hover the cursor on this, when you hover the cursor on it, it is saying that Revit.elements.element. It means it is indirectly giving you the hint. Okay, so it is expecting an element. Okay, when I hover the cursor on it, it's giving, it has a two different lines. It has a two different lines. So the name of the parameter to set, that is called a description. That's called a description. The people, I mean, while you playing Dynamo, you don't know like what to connect. Read the description first. The name of the parameter to set. Okay, so it is expecting the parameter name. So I have to get the parameter name and connect it here. Fine. And what is in the second line? You connect the parameter name, but I mean, you know, like how what to connect exactly. But in which form you supposed to connect? It is in the string. Use a string node. Use a string node to connect a parameter name, to write the parameter name. Understand? And the value, again we have two lines here. So the value is a description, and the VER. VER has a different significance in a visual programming. It means it allows everything, no matter string, no matter element ID, no matter number, no matter boolean, whatever it is. Whatever you connect, it accepts it. But it gives you the error inside the script. So this is a very poor structure what they have written. It should not be VER. It should not be the VER. Okay. So you guys are going to create these kind of a nodes in a training. Okay. So let me explain you. Explained. Meanwhile, you can go and do Vimera reviews. So there are 57 reviews and we are ranked like 4.8. Okay, so if you go down and see the reviews, then you can realize, and these are the very basic reviews that people, we generally request only few people. Okay, so only few people, I mean the whoever tried it, and we started asking these reviews from last 6 months, 7 months only. So I've been into this training field from 2.5 years. Okay, So from this 2.5 years, and seriously guys, you will you seriously enjoy the training, and it's my promise. Okay, trust me. Clear? So go and see my LinkedIn profile, and there are like recommendations as well. Go and read the recommendations so that you'll understand the way I provide the training. Okay, fine. So where is it? Where is this? So open recent Dynamo training overview. Where is this? Dynamo training overview.
Rajesh?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Yes, Raghavendra.
Yeah, do we have weekend classes?
Generally, we used to have a weekend class, Raghavendra, but you know what happened? They are not practicing in their weekdays. Okay, I mean, if I start teaching them in the weekend, the people start putting the blank faces on the next weekend itself. Okay, so instead of going with a 40 hours training, it went 80 hours training. Then okay, then we started like, no, let it, no, it won't happen. So we stopped providing. When it comes to the programming kind of a concepts, kind of a languages, you should not go with any the weekend classes for sure. Okay, it's a very very bad practice. I've seen it very practically. Okay, so you'll easily forget it. So that is the reason I take 6 days a week. But nowadays the people are very busy because of they have a lot of projects come, and they are working on a daily basis. Because when you guys are in a pandemic situation, you don't have a projects to work, but all the projects comes at the same time. The people are very busy, and this is the right time to use your automation skills to automate some sort of a tasks. Seriously. Okay, fine. So that data types is the first concept, and with this data types concept, you will be more confident, and around like 20% you will be confident on the complete coding part, and you'll completely uh, like you don't have any fear, you don't have any scare. You build some sort of confidence once you're done with the data types running for the 6 hours. Okay, anatomy of a node, it is not a concept. Anatomy of a node will go till the end of the training. Okay, so node states, there are different kind of a states. There are different kind of a states. Okay, and there are different kind of a node behaviors. If it is expecting something, and if you connect something, it will give you a different kind of a warnings. So you should understand that kind of warnings. Okay, if your kid is expecting an ice cream, and if you bought a chocolate, no, she will definitely, like, she changed his mind and she changed his mood as well. So that's called a behaviors. Okay, so those kind of a behaviors. A dot notation is a programming concept, but I do teach you in a BIM person perspective. I'll never touch any Python idles. I'll never touch any coding part. Nothing. All into the BIM person perspective only. List management. List management. What do you mean by list management? Without the data management, there is no list management. So I do teach you that list management in a very fruitful way. Like, it looks like a coding part, but it is not a code. Okay, trust me. Leasing strategies are very 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 dangerous. Very very danger strategies are like leasing. Very very. Okay, so I do teach you in a very fruitful way so that you'll never have any kind of errors. For example, if there is any problem in the script, where the problem is called lacing, whenever you open the script, it gives you the FUD error, or it will start the Dynamo, and until unless you close the Dynamo, until unless you close the Revit, it will not work. That is how it works. That is how it would be. The lacing is a very very dangerous. Okay, and there is a one more. It's called level management, list level management. That is also another like a dangerous concept. Okay, fine. The filtering method. Filtering. If you have a number of elements, 1,000 elements, how do you play with only 100 elements? How do you ignore the 900 elements? So that's what called filtering. Okay. So the design scripting. The design scripting it's not included in this training generally, but from last 4 or 5 batches, I'm taking this because you should be. I want you to be good in Python as well. Okay. So this is not a Python. This is not a C language. This is not a C++. This is not a C#. There's a different application language. You should learn this before you learn Python. Understand? That is called design scripting. Is especially designed for Dynamo. Okay, so this is again a 3 days training program, and you thoroughly enjoy this. The 3 days training program. It's a pure coding part. Pure coding part. Okay, so that's how it would be. So this is an entire training curriculum. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Yep.
Actually, many people are showing.
I'm not able to hear you anything, Hari.
Hello?
Yeah, Hari. Yeah, Hari. No, very low. Tell me.
Just a minute, just a minute. Oh, okay.
It's very clear.
Now?
Yeah, very clear.
Many people are managing with the programming data management, like what you have explained even now is the parameters or property types. But I can't able to understand or view with a geometrical structure that has been rectified through Dynamo. You got my point, right?
So you want to play with the geometry, is it?
Yeah, like geometrical structures.
Very easy.
Not only with the data management or parameters.
Very easy. Let me show you something. Okay. So the people who, I mean, if you have any questions, you can ask me now. So you be on call, Hari. I'm gonna show you something. Which is, I mean, if the people who wants to be there, let it be. Okay, let them be. Now, do you have any other questions, guys? Or if you don't have any questions, shall I go with the Hari solution? No. Let's go with the geometry. I started playing with the points. So I want to create one more point. Let's say Control C, Control V. So I have one more point and I want to move this point somewhere in X direction and in the Z direction. Okay. So can you please explain it? Yeah. So I have a one more point again. So this point has to be somewhere again. I'm sorry. This point has to be somewhere like this. Okay, perfect. Now I want to connect all this together into a curve. So what do you do? List.create. So why did I use a list.create here? I want to create a curve. So that is called a NURBS curve. NURBS curve dot by points. So it is expecting the point. What if when I connect the points to this? Oh, this is expecting the points. Okay, let me connect the second point to it. So the first point is getting disconnected. Okay, let me connect this. Can I connect these 2 points at the same time? No, there is no solution. So I'm using a reference node, a supporting node, to connect all these points together. And now this is a plural. These are singular and this is a plural. So now I have 3 set of points, and even this is expecting the points, not the point. This is expecting the points. It's a multiple, correct? It's a plural. Now let me connect this to this. Yep, that's there. Now I have a curve. Okay, that's fine. How can I convert this curve into a surface? How can I convert this curve into the surface? Let's see. If I have one more curve on the other side, let me use the same curve. Okay, so translate. Let me use some sort of a translate. Geometry.translate. So I have a geometry and I want to translate this in a y direction. So this is green line is a y and red line is a z. So let me go it in the y direction. So in y translation, hover the cursor on it, double in the sense, again it is a number. So these kind of strategies you can easily understand once you're done with the training. The basic training, you can easily understand what the node is expecting, and you started looking for that particular thing. If again the node is expecting something, over the cursor on it, try to understand, and you can easily create the entire node structure very easily in a very less time, very confidently. Trust me. Okay. So y translation, let it go for 20. So 20. Yep. So I have this thing now. Very perfect. Now I have this. This is the first, and this is second. Control G. second curve, and this is a first curve. This is a first curve. Now I have a two curves. I have a two curves here, two geometrical objects now. So how can I convert this into the surface? Huh? How can I convert this into the surface? Like surface dot by. So we have a two options again here, cross sections and patch. So this is expecting the closed curve. So I don't have a closed curve. I don't have a closed curve. So how do I, these are the cross sections. Cross section in the sense, half curves we call as a cross section. So I have a two half curves and it is not expecting the cross section. It is expecting cross sections. So again, I have to use a list dot create, remove all these connections, and I have only two. So let me connect this one, this to this. Let me connect this to the cross sections to this. Now I have a surface. That's it. That's it. So now I have a surface. So I want to convert this into the surface into multiple parts. I want to divide this. So how do we divide it? How do you divide it? Again, that's a different strategy. Okay. So how do we get? I don't want to explain this complete, but try to understand what I'm doing here. So, like we have in AutoCAD we have an what are you saying? ISO line. So I'm doing the same thing. ISO direction. So it is clearly saying that if direction W equal to 0, creates a U parameter. If it is a 1, something. And the data type is integer, int. So let me go with 0. Don't ask me why. This is some sort of an advanced concept, geometrical concept. And 0 double dot 1 double dot 0.1. Don't ask me why. So it's created total 11. I mean total 10 divisions or 11 divisions. 11 divisions. Okay. I want to do it in the other direction as well. So instead of direction ISO direction 0, I'll change this to the 1. Now I can see the grids. Now I want to see more grids on the vertical. So what do? I would like to set it from 0.1 to 0.05. Now I can see more grids on this. Clear? Now on the grids, I want to create a adaptive component on the grids. So this grid needs to be an adaptive component. Okay, some sort of a, like it is a sort of circle shape or oval shape, or else I want to put a dot. I want to put a hollow space here, and this has to be like this. Whatever shape it is, you have a trapezoidal or you have a polygonal, whatever it is, you have a different shapes, you have a different points. How do you connect all together? Everything is a geometry. So geometry is a pure with the points and lines. Point, lines, curves, surfaces, solids. Again, if you have a solid, how do you extract the information from the, solid to the surface, surface to curve, curve to points again? Understand? That is only the geometry. Where you understand the root, you can easily play with it. Clear, guys? So the dynamo geometry for most of the people, my students are from MEP and architecture as well. For especially, I'm telling that architecture and structure, you have a different set of a training for the dynamo geometry. It is not into the first part. Okay, that's a different set of a training, and it is again a 25 to exactly 40 hours to 50 hours training. Seriously, dynamo geometry is very difficult to understand. No, it's very easy. So I explain you this, only this concept itself. I generally take 1 hour dear. So I just explained you in just like 1-2 minutes. How can you easily understand it? That is what most of the people in the YouTube channels are doing. YouTube people are doing. They are explaining the script. They're not teaching the concepts. So I'm here to teach the concepts so that you can create a lot of parametric structures by yourself. Clear, guys? Okay, that's it. Fine. So do you have any questions now? I hope I cleared your question, Mr. I don't know who asked this. Okay.
Hari.
Hari. So currently using 2019, can it works in 2023? Yes, it works, Chandrasekhar. Can I ask about the course fee? The course fee text me personally. Okay, so that I don't want to reveal it in here. Okay, even though both are same, when there is only a course fee, but I don't want to reveal it here. Okay, fine. Can you please share the course structure details and fee? Yeah, sure, sure. I will. I will. I'll text you, Azam. Okay. So it's very difficult to understand. No, no, it's very easy. Geometry is very, very wonderful than the key concepts. Trust me, you'll really more. You'll definitely enjoy this geometry than the dynamo key concepts. So you will cover mostly MEP. No, Himanshu. I don't cover only the MEP. I do play. I need an element to play to understand a concept. So I take any example. If you ask me to take a for this example use any column, I'll use a column. If somebody asks me to use my element MEP element like place diffusers on the ceilings, then I'll take a MEP like HVAC elements or electrical elements or architectural wall creation. My concept should be adopt and flexible on your convenience. If you ask me, I'll explain. So like you're too much explaining on the MEP, can you show me some sort of an examples in architecture? If the training hours is like 2 hours, I'll extend it for 30 minutes and I'll teach you that particular concept. You understand? By the end of the day, every training concept should be understand with everyone. That is what makes me happy even. Okay, so not the money that you're paying me, not the salary that you fee that you're paying me, no, nothing. Okay, so you should be go with a very good knowledge, because I've seen a lot of people, they're like self-learning, and they did a lot of mistakes and they're committing some sort of an interviews and they're failing over there. Generally when I interview, when I hire a person to any companies, as of now I have a 5 to 6 companies with me, those who are expecting the dynamo experts, and my first preference are my students. Those are not recently learned. Okay, it is like 3 months old, 6 months old, and I'll check what they have done in their past 3 6 months, and I'll hire them. I'll help them when they are in our companies. Seriously. Okay. So if they are not capable and I found a person, I'll immediately take that person, not even you guys. Okay. So my intention is I want you to understand the importance of the automation, and you should give your best during the training, after the training as well. Clear? Not only for India, I'm getting for Middle East as well. I have only one, and I have one more, that is I told you already. There is a company called REA. Okay, so you don't need to go home. They're like a freelancers, so they'll just pay you something around the 90,000. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Really. Okay, so they're going to pay you some X amount, so you can work from your home. You can work from your home, and then they'll be happy for it. Okay, can we create a cable trace elevation type? Very easy. That is what we do teach you even in the geometry. Okay, so that we can present the layout near and clinch. Very easy. I mean, if you go and see, for example, if you have a CAD drawings, let me show you something. Create cable tray, byline and cable tray. Okay, so let me go with cable tray by curve. So control V. Now see, if you have a line and there's nothing but curve, so you're supposed to connect what kind of a cable tray that is and in which level that you want. That's it. It will create that very easily. No, I have only the points information. I have only the points information. The same thing. You will be connecting a start point and end point to it. And what do you mean by the cable tray type and which level that you want? Clear? Once it is created,
Yeah, I got one question here.
Yes.
Actually, when you're connecting the cable trays, okay, we have a different type of channels, and that has not been updated in the Revit. We have to bring the family type or element type, and we have to upload it. Is that like it is not a basic element family type or something?
Mhm.
So is that possible
Yeah.
If we connect Dynamo and if we extract to a Revit, it is possible that
Yeah,
all
it's
the
possible.
family type will automatically get updated.
Exactly. You can do it. Very basic. See, it is possible manually. If there is a process which you can do it manually, you can automate it. You can automate it.
Okay.
Okay. So there is same. That is what I'm saying. Where in most of the workflows till now, what I have been explained during the training, uh, they're very happy with it because I do very clear what things can be done, what things can not be done in the 4 5 days training itself. You understand? Clear? Fine. So whatever. I mean, I have a cable trace. So if you want to play with the same pipes, same thing. Pipe dot by lines, pipe dot by curve, the same thing. Where I'm just changing here. Oh, cable tray doesn't have any system type, so we're not connecting here. We just have a pipe type and piping system type. So the same thing. If I want to create a duct, same thing. Duct. So duct by curve, same thing. Now, if you want to create a conduit, conduit. If you want to create a wall, wall by curve, same thing. The only reason where you stuck, understanding the inputs. So that is what I do. Teach you everything from the scratch. I don't even miss single pinpoint. Till now, no students has come again. Sir, you leave this topic. I don't understand it all. And this is very new to me. No, I'll teach every single pinpoint. You understand? Clear? Fine. And every day, the first 15 days training, I mean, of 15 minutes of the training, and the last 15 minutes of the training is purely, it's like questionnaire part. It's like questionnaire part. You can come with your live projects, problems as well. Seriously, you can come and ask me, Rajesh, I have a problem here. Is that helpful? Are you able to teach this? Yes, I do help you. Then I'll try to understand. Okay, when this concept come, Hari is asking something. I have to exactly sync this concept with this problem, and they'll explain you that. That is how it is. Okay. Can we control fabrication parts using Dynamo? Fabrication parts. Yeah, if you have an element and if you want to control, fabrication. Because someone asked me the same thing before. As of now, we don't have any fab elements. I think one of our
Sorry,
employees.
Rajesh. Sorry to interrupt. Why did I ask this question? Because most of my work involved in with fabrication parts and prefab assemblies and all that stuff. So why did I ask that? Is because we cannot edit any fabrication system or anything in the Revit software. It doesn't allow. So you have to have fabrication CAD MEP software. Earlier it was known as TSI. So you need to have that, and there you can edit the systems and all that thing. So that's why I asked this. Is it possible in Dynamo, using this automation technology, or we have to follow the manual method that we generally use?
Frankly, to be frankly, no, I haven't played. I haven't played on this fabrication parts before. Okay, let me see. There is a solution. There will be a solution to this, but not in the Dynamo. Maybe it's into the second stage or into the third stage. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for addressing.
Yeah. Thank you. So, any other questions?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Yeah.
Yeah. You told the family creation part will be covered in advanced
Correct.
section.
Correct.
It won't be covered in this one, right?
No. No need to go with this kind of a special training. Seriously, once you started understanding the roots, I mean the key concepts, I mean most of the people who are into this, like who are into the architecture, so they show much interest on the geometry than the key concepts. Without key concepts, you guys will not even, based on my experience, what I'm saying. Okay, without the key concepts, you are like 10-20% into the geometry. Still, you will get stuck somewhere. So you have to focus on the key concepts. Once you understand the key concept, the Dynamo geometry, you don't need to even pay. You can learn by yourself. That is how it will be. You have no need to. I mean, in the family parameters also, it needs a geometry. So once you have the geometry, So the same thing, like I just opened the Dynamo from the project. No, go to the family editor. Just click on this and let me click on edit family. Go to the family editor. Again, in the manage tab, you have another Dynamo. Go to the manage and I have another Dynamo. See here, correct? This is grayed out now. That is because of you already opened the Dynamo in the project. So if I close the project, if I close the Dynamo in the project, it will activate here. It will be active here. Understand? So you start playing, you start creating the same parameters. I don't teach you these concepts, but you can easily understand. Trust me, you can easily create the
Okay, so
parameters.
all the concepts will be
Very easy.
applied to this
Very easy.
family creation also.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need to pay for this. Okay, the people who are completely into this thing, you guys have to go with 1, 2, 3 different modules. I don't want to go with all this stuff. Seriously. Okay, so it's no, for me, I don't have any problem. You can, if you're ready to pay, I'll take this entire training into the 7, 8 modules as well. But be genuine. No need to pay. Once you're done with the key concepts, you can easily understand the geometrical part. You can easily understand the structural part. You can easily understand the family parameters part even. Understand? Clear?
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah.
So anything else? Any questions, guys? So it's already 11:30, so 3 hours. You guys have a very good patience, huh? Even though if I allow you to sit for the whole night, you guys will sit, huh? Is it?
Sir, yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Fine.
It depends upon the topic what we are listening at.
So I think I'm not feeling you bored, isn't it?
Hope so.
No. Okay. Fine.
Hopefully, but in future I'm not sure. No.
Oh no, trust me.
Just kidding.
I'll never feel you. But you'll generally I'll tell you one thing. When I am into any seminars or into any webinars, after 20, 30 minutes, I'll start yarning like this. Okay. But when I'm very much interested and involved in any topic, no, I'll never yarn. Okay. So I hope you guys not yarned in my session, is it? So if you're not, you're enjoying it. So you guys are enjoying. So if you enjoy this demo, you'll enjoy the entire training, and it's my promise. Okay. So not only the Dynamo concepts, I do teach you some sort of other things as well. Okay, fine. Anyhow, that's a different story. So if you don't have any questions, so that we can leave for now and see you on the training part. See you on the training. Clear? So
Hello, Mr. Rajesh.
yes, Sundar.
Sorry to interrupt you. That during the meeting you said that the Dubai Museum exterior facade was done by Dynamo. It means that the complete exterior modeling part was done by Dynamo,
Skeleton, just a skeleton.
like the glass, aluminum panels, the Arabic letters also, right?
No, just the skeleton. Just the skeleton. Just the skeleton. Okay.
Actually, I think so. It was done through massing structure, and it has to be incorporated in Revit, and it has to be given there.
Exactly. But
is that right, Rajesh?
Yes. So we generally exactly the same thing. So most of the people doing the same thing. If you need a proper structural design, you need a massing model. So how do you generate the massing model? If there are lot of ideas, so that they'll do a lot of an analysis on the basic model, which can be generated from the Dynamo. Okay. I hope you see this Oppo building. Oppo. I'm sorry. Oppo building headquarters. Do you see this? Do you see this?
No.
See the same similar kind of a structure. So it completely finished with just a 3 curves. If you notice it, this is a curve. This is just an ellipse, and there is another ellipse here. Okay, and there is a base. This is like this. And if you see that the base of this, let me show you how the base looks like. I think you can see here the base of this. It looks like a sine wave. It looks like a wave. Okay, so with just of 10-15 minutes you can create this structure. Seriously. Okay. So these kind of a beautiful scripts, once you have developed it, how do you split that into the levels? How many levels that you create? Creating a levels from the Revit. So how do you sync that with this building? So everything you can do by your own once you're done with your training. Once you're done with the key concept study. Okay. After learning geometry. If you don't want you waste your time, seriously guys, to create my best, to give my best, it took for me 1.5 year, 2 years. But you have only, you guys don't have the time. Don't waste your time by doing sort of a self R&D, self-learning. Even though I came from the self-learning, but I have paid, I realized, okay, there won't be nothing happen if I'm new to the concept. If there is a different concept, it's a different language, self-learning fails. Seriously. If you understand the roots, then self-learning works. If you know the concept, if you know the complete tool, then you can play with the concept. Seriously. So first understand the rules. Okay, fine. So I'm not trying to motivate you to come and join. Just go with any resources, okay, with any videos or whatever it is, but they don't have a proper structure even. But trust me, if you want to save your time, save your like if you want to be before than a person who occupies your seat, then come and join us. You will really enjoy it. Trust me. And it's my promise. Okay? Fine. Fine, guys. Any other questions?
Hello, Rajesh.
Yes, Samir.
Can we do rebar modeling via Dynamo?
Why not? Why not? You can do it. You can do the rebar modeling. So when you are into the structures.
Because rebar modeling is a bit tedious process. That's why I was asking.
Very much. Very much. Very, very. Seriously. Rebar modeling can be automated very, very easily. You just select the block, that's it. It will do it. It'll do it work by itself. Okay. So you don't need to do it manually. No. So even I'm not a structural guy, but I have played with a lot of rebar structural stuff. Okay. Well, so using adaptive families, yeah, you can use an adaptive families. You can create an adaptive families. Okay. Anything else? Pace? I told you already. I'll text you personally. Okay. So I want to know. I mean, how many people are interested to join so that I would like to make my this seat. I mean, okay. So if you're interested, do text me on WhatsApp or on LinkedIn. So where you got my text, okay? I mean, if you haven't reached from LinkedIn or like WhatsApp, so I don't know from where you have come. So reach me on my LinkedIn. So my LinkedIn profile is this. LinkedIn profile is this. And text me on my WhatsApp. So text me on my WhatsApp. It's 9160-567890. Okay, it's my WhatsApp number. Even this is Rajesh Kumar, BIM Automation. If you type like BIM and it will directly take you to my profile. So that Rajesh Kumar, just click on contact so that you can see my number and I'll be available on the same number. Okay, so you can come and see the recommendations. You can come and see in the recommendations. Where is it? Dynamo Python scripting. See, this is how actually it looks like. BIM Academy, the certification would be. So when the HRs or the recruiting team, those who click on show credentials from the BIM Academy, it will directly take you to a different page. Okay. So it will show you the certificate and it will show you the badge as well. It will show the certificate and it will show the badge. The badge is very old. Our new badge is very we asked to change because there's an old Autodesk logo. So now it comes with a different logo on the badge. Okay, exactly looks like your Revit certification, Autodesk certification. Okay, fine. So these are the recommendations like what I got. So total 48 or something. Okay, so you can have a look at here. Okay, fine. Anything else, guys? So do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? No? Shall we leave? Still, you have a 5 minutes. As I told you, it's just like a 90 minutes, but it went 180 minutes, huh? So,
Sir, what will be the course timing?
oh yeah, it's a very nice question. So the course timing is going to be after your office hours, 8:30 to 10:30. So there won't be disturbance. There won't be any disturbance with the course timings. And even though if you're not able to attend the training session, in 1 day session, don't worry. I'll send you the recorded session of the day. You can watch whenever you want, and you can come and join on the next day. Clear? Clear, guys?
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. So, and this is not only for the one time, it is like a unlimited time. So, for example, you have come and joined today in this month, I mean in this May batch, and due to some of your project submissions or you haven't been practiced it, and if you want to recall it and you don't want to go with the recorded sessions, come and join live training anytime without paying a single NB. Clear? Clear, guys? So
Yes, sir.
do let me know who are going to join, because we do allow only few people in a batch, because otherwise like we can't focus on all the persons. Okay, fine. So let me know by the end of the training. Trust me, you'll be happily go through with very much confidence and with a happy face. Trust me on it. Okay, fine. Then it's been very late, guys. Hope I mean I have a this what do you call what do you call that, the people who don't sleep, who sleep very late, what is that, infi something there is a called. Okay, fine, whatever it is. Okay, fine. So yeah, you can, yeah, you can join again, Pranesh. Yeah, you can join again. Okay, fine. So see you in our training. See you guys. So I'm gonna text you now. So I mean, I'm gonna text you on LinkedIn. I'm gonna text you on WhatsApp. So if you're interested, please respond with a label so that it will automatically take you to that payments thing, and then you can start paying and send me the screenshot of it so that your enrollment would be done, and you don't need to pay at the same time. You can pay in 2 installments. Okay, so you have that future as well. So once you pay something, and until unless, I mean, the second payment would be like a 1 week or 10 days after 1 month only. So before you end the training, you can pay the last day even. Clear? Fine, fine, guys. So whatever I want to convey, I conveyed everything, so that if you don't have any
Last and
questions,
second.
Yeah.
Marathali.
Oh,
Huh?
is this guy? He's talking to someone. Fine. See you guys. See you guys. And for Muslim brothers, Eid Mubarak again in advance. Those who are in India. Okay.
Yeah,
See
night,
you.
sir.
See you. See you. Bye bye. Bye.
You.
See you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chandru. Thank you, Pranesh. Thank you. See you.